No.
You can't even count that. Can't even count that. All right.
That was premeditated assault.
Welcome to that. Way to start. Welcome to Nycos D&D. This is the I-9 COVID-19 incursion episode of the Fellstone Chronicles. Today's episode number 5 is now alive. Referring,
Dear
of course,
God.
to the 5th of the Fellstones. 3 to go. What fun. Alrighty, so we are still in the highlands above Apex, if I remember correctly, and I'll have my players introduce themselves. Let's go in group involvement order. So we'll go with our eldest player, our Dragonborn, and move through our Pongid and on to our Ranger.
I'm Valar Kithrax, Marlon Raste Sirolim.
Congratulations, and I hope
I
you eventually
just-
get cured.
I just killed a bad guy, and I'm very happy with myself. I'm a Dragonborn, I think, and a Paladin, I think. And what was the other question?
Hang on.
Yeah,
a
Was
you
there
didn't-
another question?
Hang on a second. Hello? My father called. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Keep going.
Okay.
Just go ahead and go with your introductions, though. So hang on.
Right, and I'm very happy that it's done and dead, and now we need to find the next Fellstone after we revel in our successes. Anybody else?
I am Scott. I play Xavier, the highly inquisitive and possibly way too talkative Ponged rogue, Monkey Man.
Monkey.
And I am very also relieved that this enemy has been vanquished, because what he was doing is just skin crawling. But yes, we need to find the next Fellstone and figure out what else we need to fix.
Yes. I agree.
Alright, so
Jean, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Jean. He already ratted me out on that. And I play Mooncat Shadowstalker, a high elf,
Ranger.
a high elf ranger, pure class right now. She sees herself that way.
We all think you're pure class, no matter which character you play, Gene.
Your class.
Pure class.
And what was the last question?
There wasn't.
What do I think about? There wasn't.
yeah,
That's it. I'm me.
he
I was being
terrific.
being easy on you this time.
He threw us a curveball because we're all expecting a third question, which is kind of like existential, and we didn't get that.
It's neurologistic programming. Eventually, you'll just automatically answer life's question without having to be prompted. You'll just automatically define what the next question will be without me having to ask it.
I find myself in a very weird place, but I also have gained a new hope that I can get hold of an egg of a great eagle.
A new
And-
hope. I like
A
that.
new
I've heard that
hope.
phrase someplace before. I can't quite place it.
That is her
Hmm.
fondest dream, is to bond with a great bird.
Well, now you're holding on to a baby dragon, so.
Yes,
Still.
and she was kind of proud that you asked her to do so, since you put great store by them.
Yes.
And she knows that because of how much you talked about losing the older dragon.
All right.
That you-
So
very-
what did we determine had happened with the other creepy kids? They're all gone. Were they all gone when you guys?
They're all gone.
Oh,
they
yeah,
they
well,
were
you
backing
can't
up out
find
of the
'em.
door with
Yeah.
a hand signal or whatever.
That's right. That's right. I was
Yeah.
just trying.
I don't know if.
Trying to make sure they're no longer in Ithu.
Well, you said that they might return.
last
You
I
you
remember,
threatened us with that.
the
Threaten.
sandcastle was dissolving and we
Right.
were running,
That's true.
well,
That's true. We were doing the
surfing.
doing yeah, we're doing the mountain surf on the way down the hill. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, Legolas would be proud of your performances. You came down the
Very
mountain.
much.
Yeah, jump on my shield and skate away.
Exactly. All right. So
Polish my shield really nice and bright.
yeah. So as literally as the dust clears, if you will, you are you're still in the hills above Apex. Apex looks a little different, and there are
Is
pennant.
there an act? Is there actually an apex, or is it still a crater?
Well, there was was there a city because it was kind of ruined last time. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
that's actually a good point. Uh, there still remains something of a city that I mean that's why I said it looks a little different than it did when you were on the way up.
But
In
it
that there
still
are
shows
buildings.
some destruction.
Well, remember there's been a passage of time. We don't know how much necessarily, but yes, it looks like the progression towards advancement back into a society has continued for some period of
Oh,
time.
you were right. It's changed. Look at that whole area over there.
As a matter of fact, near the center of where the central area where the palace that used to stand, there is a wooden palisade wall around a structure, and there is a red and white pennon flying above the center of it.
Um,
Hmm.
Hmm.
Right. Well, there's only one thing to do. It can't be bad, because now it's changed. Let's go.
oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna, I'm gonna
Shouldn't we
bounce.
just go around it and leave quietly?
No.
No?
We don't know where we're supposed to go, so maybe we
A
could
city,
find.
yeah?
Well, no. He does have information because
Oh,
he actually did know that the next place he'd already. I can't recall. I think it was with when you talked to the family, right? The family that was the books. You talked to them, and
Yeah, the Manas.
you're right.
okay.
They heard tell of a Fellstone in the Warrens.
Right. And you had already determined that the Warrens were south of here, so you'd be going basically through the area anyway. So it's just your choice whether you want to interact with this local community or try to avoid it.
I wouldn't mind getting a horse.
Valer must interact.
Of course.
He's a hero paladin. He's got to
Right.
bathe in the
You
heroism a
gotta.
little bit.
Now I'm gonna have to get my shield repainted. That damn sand scoured off my dark colored shield.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Now
But-
it's shiny.
But it's so shiny now.
Yeah, it's so shiny
well.
now, and it's not exactly what you
Oh.
want in the forest.
Mm. Unless you're
So-
facing a basilisk or something scary like that.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
So anyway, as you're heading that direction, a shadow passes over you. Something has
Oh.
something intercepts, if you will, Nimbus above you and casts a large winged shadow passing over you.
Look up right away.
Well, it's
Yeah.
it's that matter of perspective. It's so high up that by the time you turn to look up towards the source of light, which is your natural thought is to turn back and try to see it that way, you look into the light of Nimbus, and then you realize this thing is at a pretty incredible height, but it is a draconic form, and it is wheeling into a dive. It's probably close to 10,000 feet up, though. I mean, it's the fact that you can recognize that it's a dragon suggests the dragon is of considerable size, at least at least an adult. And the bright brilliance of the light above does not give clear indication of the color of the dragon as it dives either.
Yeah, no, not when you're underneath and the sun is between you and it. Too much shadow. Um. Ooh, I think maybe we ought to warn somebody. Because
Well,
that could be
you can
good
hear
or bad.
as you see it diving, you can hear a bell from the city. So they already saw it. Apparently, they've got watchers specifically viewing for the skies.
I think they're warned.
And but the dive doesn't appear to be heading for the city. Instead, it feels like that it's aimed at you. So in other words, you're looking at the nose of a diving dragon, so to speak.
Oh, it's like we're
Valer
going.
does not look up yet.
Okay.
Valer, you need to look up.
There
Right.
it is.
It's a dragon, and it's coming straight at us.
Hey, that's probably a good thing.
Well, I can't see what color.
Not unless we screwed with some local dragon. He could be pissed.
I doubt he would be pissed nowadays. Either way, I suppose I'll look. And he looks up.
Go ahead and make a perception test.
I perceive.
Nothing. No.
Oh, I perceive something. It's perception. 16.
16. Yeah, it's
Ugh.
to be somewhat poetic about it. You recognize literally the curve of the face. She's bigger, and she's a little bit older, but it's clearly Snowlin.
Snowy!
As she comes roaring in, she dives past you guys and does this like split S barrel roll in front of you. So she like dives at you guys and then ascends upward, turns and dives back, landing in front of you guys after a barrel roll.
Valer sprints.
Interesting.
She pads forward as you're sprinting towards her. She's padding forward, and she's actually has something clasped in her foreclaw. She's actually got one of her hands is closed as she's like, so it's kind of almost like a limping move, but it's not really a limp. It's just that she's putting pressure on her knuckles in ways that you don't normally do when you're walking.
Valer is going to attempt to tackle.
Yes, so you realize
Tackle a foreleg.
well, not only tackle a foreleg, but tackle a foreleg that's already of size approaching huge. So it's like trying to tackle
He's trying
a
to
small
tackle
elephant.
her, grab her neck, and pull her down into a hug.
Yes.
Wow.
So-
Okay.
But based on her height now, you kind of are grabbing into the center of her chest plate. You know, you just put your arms.
He's still rolling to try it.
I know.
I'm
I get it.
grapple check.
I get it.
Oh my.
The chuckle from her is
22.
22.
She's hanging on.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, he's hanging on. He basically grabs the chest plate, and she kind of tries to respond to the hug, but in doing so, she's going to lift him off the ground.
Yeah.
So he's hanging from her chest plate, so to speak. And she's chuckling. There's this chortling sound that comes from her throat that is paralleled with little tiny puffs of frosty ice from her nostrils.
You right? Scared me, you little bastard.
I can't be a
Not so
bastard.
little anymore, though.
And I can't be a bastard. You have to call me a bitch.
Oh, God.
That would be rude.
Well, anyway, she actually says it. She says, "Yes, but I'm not a child anymore, and we have much to talk about. However, I just got a message I've got to go take care of, so give me 3 seconds. And while I'm doing that, now you guys can answer the question, what do you think Snowlin has been up to? And I'll be right back. This is for posterity, not for me, because I got to step away, but I'll be right back.
Okay,
What do you think Snowy's been up to?
you guys go first.
I have not the slightest idea.
Well, judging like he. Okay. Now,
Could she have a fellstone?
I don't think it would be that easy. Maybe some clue. Um, I think she's actually trying to possibly carve out her own not necessarily kingdom, but maybe
Territory.
her own little domain. But that's what I'm thinking.
Do you know something? I think because of what Valere does, that she took a more active hand in trying to straighten things out.
That could also be a possibility.
Um, because he's that way, where he perceives a problem, he goes after the problem and tries to get it solved. That's the whole trip with the Fellstones. Is this will be a good thing when they're all placed. So even though he doesn't have all of them, he places all that he has, and and yeah, I think yeah, she's tried to advance Valaire's
Mission or
mission, or something along that line. If it's not Valaire's mission, it was her mission, probably based off of something that she knows about what has happened during the time she was growing up.
Well, she has a bigger mission than us.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the daughter of Cywin.
Uh huh.
If you guys don't know who Cywin is,
I
shame
do.
on you.
Yeah. No. No.
Cywin,
Well.
Cywin is one of the saviors of iterations.
Okay.
Uh, at the end of an iteration, the humans, she's supposed to be a protector of humans, I believe, but the humans are supposed to go ask her for help at a place called Cywin's Calling. And when Cywin is called, she goes up to Nimbus and uh, interjects on the humans' behalf to get the dragons to save them. And so the last Cywin was murdered by the party who didn't want that to happen or whatever.
by the
And
seventh iteration.
So
no, not seventh.
Snowy. Yeah, but
It was
so
like 5 or 6. It was the last Cywin. And so Valere went back there, unbeknownst, found this out, and found the last Cywin, warned her of what was going to happen. Uh, Not that that was their goal, but he remembered that that was a thing and warned her. So she was able to live, and she had, because she had to go do her mission, asked him to raise her daughter for her. So he raised Cywin's daughter, Snowlin, so that she could grow up in the now and become the next and future Cywin.
Okay, so not really a I mean, I was thinking that you guys had a to quote a movie Dragonheart, sort of a Dragonheart relationship, but not exactly that. It's a little different from that because
no, it's guardian and
yeah.
child, and now it's Valere and Snowy. She's an adult now.
Yep. So I don't know what she's been up to. I don't even. We don't even know
I
what
don't
color she
even
is
know
right
how she
now. But
advanced. So it looks
she,
like she's at least a white because
she
she was breathing frost.
well, she was a prismatic growing up.
Oh, I hope she still is a prismatic.
A prismatic, I think, can do any.
Anything I want to.
But
Yeah,
she
because
learned
that's all
frost from
colors
her.
and no color.
Yeah, she learned frost from her mother,
Okay.
and she always
Oh.
had silver tipped wings.
Yeah, I was a little confused as to what type she was at first when I first met her because you described her as a silver, but then she's also described as a white, and it's like, wait.
Yeah, it depends on how you see her because the closer she gets, the more iridescent she looks. But from a distance, with the sun coming down, it's kind of like an opalescent,
Yeah, and then
kind of
sometimes when
whitish.
you're not getting the white flash, you're getting the more gray or silvery color of reflected light off like a mirror or something without the aurora borealis effect of a CD. But basically, that's what their scales are like. It's like each scale is like a, a CD, in scale form, and so it just splits up light.
Yeah, that's what Valaire's scales are like. He's a prismatic dragonborn.
Yeah, he's really quite elegant. I really like that picture.
Yep. So we don't even know what color she is. We don't know what she's gonna be doing or what she's up
I
to.
don't
But
know if I love the head shape.
what of my picture?
Yeah,
Yeah, this isn't accurate. It's just one that I found that was a crystal dragon.
a crystal dragon. Yeah.
Yeah. I should find a better one, but I don't know how I don't like any of the pictures of the Dragonborn. They always have ugly head shapes.
Yeah, they did. I keep on looking and I'm going, no, no, dragons don't have a a reptile, a horny toad face. That's not them.
Yeah,
Their faces, their heads are much more elegant. They
Yeah,
may be reptilian, but they're much more elegant.
they're elevated. They're supposed to be the pinnacle of
Oh,
reptilian beauty.
yeah. And I always loved my 30th level, 20th level druid, 10th level master of many forms had a dragon cohort that was a prismatic. Actually, it was a dragon companion. But
Oh, that's a pretty picture.
did you look up prismatic dragon?
Crystal, but yeah.
Crystal. I don't. Somehow the crystal dragon totally eluded me. I don't know what group had crystal. What particular edition had crystal dragons?
Um, I know that there were the
There was a gem
well,
dragons.
yeah. That's a pretty picture of a iridescent dragon.
Okay. More ghost like than iridescent. I was. No, it shows some iridescent. It shows some iridescent,
okay, so now I feel a little more
but
comfortable.
not prismatic. It is definitely iridescent, but not necessarily prismatic. And it's only kind of showing one color, kind of a pinkish lavender with the
Yeah.
blue, where this would be little sparks of color depending on which scales were catching the light and at which angle.
Yep.
It'd be almost overwhelming, and that's their attack. It's like this,
Radiance.
they dazzle to an extreme degree if you're close, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Well, where's John? He
I don't know.
just
He had to deal
disappeared
with
on
his
us.
father.
John, we're more important.
Well, certainly to our own way of thinking.
Why is it so hard to find a good crystal dragon face?
Because I dare say the very concept is very difficult to render artistically.
Yeah.
Sorry for that delay.
That's okay.
The rest of the story was that my dear father is actually uh, achieving his inheritance. His parents died 2 decades ago, or a decade ago, and um, my auntie, she basically stole all the money, and she just recently passed, and so that money that was his parents, she was at least wise enough to send money to the four children separately, so that way the other four children separately, so that they didn't go to war with each other. So Dad's going to be collecting his inheritance, and he needed me to look at the paperwork and all of that, and in trade for that, he went and bought me lunch. So I had to go pick up the lunch from him. So Sorry for the.
Okay.
Yay, lunch.
That's okay. Lunch is good. This is
Uh,
it. Go ahead and tell them your supposition.
No, I'm not gonna tell
Scott.
my supposition.
No, that's the
Scott,
reason.
what?
No, that was the reason why I had you do it as a comment of
Ah,
posterity, so that when I reveal what she actually's been up to and everything that's happened, then you can see whether or not anybody was even close. And in the meantime, we'll have
okay. I rest on my supposition.
you're holding to your theory. All right, excellent.
yep, I'm holding to mine as well.
Okay,
Of
But
course,
so
Valere did not express his supposition.
I don't know what you're talking about.
what he didn't, he's got
No.
to. He has to. That was the reason why I wanted that done, is so that way you would
Oh
have
my
Valaire's.
God! Tomato and Jack have finally arrived. Almost
He's
Yeah.
in the process of arriving.
in the process of arriving. Notice I put my class right behind my name.
I see that. So
Okay, that
Here's
one's
the
a little.
prismatic dragon.
That's a prismatic.
Yeah.
Oh no, I could. I
oh, you sent the picture.
I would show the separate scales, and then each scale, because of how it was turned, radiated a slightly different color band.
Yeah, the
you know.
amount of work to actually create that work of art would be amazing. Yeah.
Astronomical. Or if you use a computer, and so you could have all the scales of this, you can resize them so you can place them, and then the ones that are in a different alignment would be different.
Is that the picture that we got from Nathaniel, or is that another picture?
One I just found online.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I actually had the prismatics drawn by my nephew, the same guy who did the Starbucks
Nice.
image. Yeah, he does much better. He does much better with furry animals. His series that he does online is also based on basically our sec gen. He's got different names for them, but they're of that kind of an animalistic nature. So most of the ones he does are mammals. So the nose looks a little odd, looks a little blunt. But pardon me for taking a bite
Okay.
before we get going.
Pardonnez-moi.
I know it's an Italian sandwich, so naturally you can go ahead and speak in Italian if you want. I don't. So
Okay.
Bibbidi bobbidi.
yep. So welcome, friend Tomato. We were just describing the arrival of a prismatic dragon. As I said, she has her hand clutched tight with something in it, and as you're hugging her chest, she'll actually turn and open her paw, her claw, and offer you back your headband.
Mm. Okay.
She goes, I find I no longer need this, and you have, I see other children now. And she kind of smiles wryly at the other two dragons you have with you.
Well, a dragon parent will often find ways to keep being one, I suppose.
You'll always be a papa. What can you say?
Aye. Are you doing okay, Snowy?
Oh, it's been an adventure, and you know what an adventure is, right?
Aye.
Adventures are things that happen to you that you wish had happened to anybody else.
Haha.
But I am so glad to see you. I knew you would eventually get into my neck of the woods, and I couldn't help but hear you yesterday. There was a bit of a roar from that mountaintop over there, and it was your voice. It was like, I finally found him. Of course, as I headed over, I saw the storm and realized you weren't quite finished yet. So,
Aye, well, got that cleared up with another fellstone.
well done. Glad to hear it. I'm surprised though. I didn't anticipate to see you for probably 3 or 4 years. How'd you make it over here so fast?
Well, you know, magic and that.
We
Kinda got teleported by tree.
Oh, that's interesting. So you made some friends with some my northern friends then.
Northern friends. I suppose, if you know him. Miri and that.
No, I don't know them. Miri, I don't know that name at all, but I was referring to the elves.
Oh, no. We went with Miri, one of the Paragons over in, where were they? Trail?
Bridgeton.
Bridgeton. Whatever the hell that was.
I don't know that town either, but I've if you're speaking of paragons, the only contact I've had with those is that some of my, I guess you'd call them my eyes, took sight of the broadcaster when he visited Selk nearby.
Hmm. What do you think of that?
But enough about you. We should talk about me, don't you think? She grins.
Absolutely.
She goes, "Well, I have to say, I apologize. I've been excited, as you know, to fulfill my role, and we'd already talked about, getting to hear the call and all of that. Well, while you were, let's just say, involved in looking for the Quantivus guy, I think that's when we last saw each other.
No, we were separated at the Bear Temple.
Right, before you went after Quantivus.
No, that was post-Quantivus. That was pre-train.
Yes, they
So
met
it
me.
was you saw her after the dragon tomb? I don't think so.
No, that was the change.
That right, but that was shortly after Quantivus, almost immediately on the tails of Quantivus, wasn't it?
No, it was weeks after. We traveled for a while, ran into Tongue Eater and through the mountains on the ship.
Okay, I
remember because
A
I
few
came.
details have slipped your
Yeah.
mind.
yeah, well, like I said, a lot's happened, but I went down to the coast because I love the ocean and you don't, so
Well,
there's nothing
that's up to you.
there's nothing like sailing the warm updrafts off the ocean. I tell you.
Aye. Wait.
At this point, Mooncat moves a little closer. She wasn't going to disturb him, saying hello, but she doesn't want to hear what she's been doing.
I love the fact that Mooncat's name is Shadow Stalker. you got 3 A's in there, Miri.
I like it. It's
It is.
good.
It is.
got
Totally fits the description of her Mooncat Shadow.
Mooncat Shadow Stalker.
I'm sure I could use, like a bar across all 3 A's to indicate a very long A. Shadow Stalker.
A long line would make it Shadow Stalker, though, right? Have to be a bunch of
No.
curves.
The long mark usually means long A.
Right, which is a...
Let's not get into linguistics.
So-
Oh, yeah. I want shadow.
Exactly.
3
So a bunch
short
of
lines.
little wavy lines like the ocean. Going back to the ocean, we're talking about the ocean. So, yeah. So anyway, I was cruising along the coast, enjoying the warm, sunny afternoon, and I see this guy come walking out of the water, just completely soaked. I didn't see any boat, ship, or anything, and I thought of how terrified you are about the water, and I thought about that poor little guy down there. So I went down to talk to him, and he said that they're coming. And I realized that sounds kind of like the call, and I said, "Are you sure?" And he says, "Yes, they have already arrived, and the destruction has begun." And it's like, oh gosh, I must be behind on my deadline. So I knew where I needed to go because we'd talked about that long time ago. So I wanted to come back and tell you, but I also knew that he said it already started. So, well, as it turns out, he wasn't quite right. What he was talking about wasn't what I thought he was talking about. And by that time, I wasn't sure when you were, let alone where you were. And
Tell me about it.
yeah, and then I felt bad. And anyway, so I came down here, and this region really was in sore lack of repair. I found her, by the way, or at least I found our old place. You remember?
The calling?
No, home. Where you found me and protected me and
Aye,
talked to Mom and all of that.
wasn't that Simon's call?
Well, it was near. Yeah, the call I found is a little bit farther south. There's a specific curvature of the mountain that allows for the dragon's voice to be echoed a much longer range northward. So, but it was near there. But I got to do some exploring and that kind of thing. Had some trouble
Aye.
with I had some trouble with an Urgluk tribe that had kind of taken over. As you remember, there was that auntie around the corner that wasn't so nice. You remember her?
And her little one?
Yeah. Well, her little ones apparently was killed by this Urgluk tribe, and they were wearing her skull as a crown. And I'm
Aw.
sorry, I didn't ask first. I hope that's okay.
Oh, absolutely okay.
I mean, I know she was supposed to be like evil and stuff, and like not. I knew she could never go home. So, but she was dead, and I needed to practice. So
No worries there.
so
Speaking of which, John, you haven't told us what color she is currently.
yeah, I did. She's prismatic. I said that.
Oh, she's
She's
still
almost
prismatic.
light blinding. So Mooncat is kind of shading her eyes a bit, but
Right. Well, while we're at it, I'm going to grip.
Oh, you got new friends.
Aye, that's Tomato and Jack. They're a wee bit crazy, so don't take offense.
not
Then
Jack.
there's Xavier, the
Wait a
curious
minute, we
monkey
met.
man.
I know.
Hello, my lady.
I, met,
Mooncat Shadow Stalker.
I think she's the new
My
one.
pleasure.
Didn't I meet the Jack before? I don't think
Yes, you met me.
No,
I
I
was
don't- I
tied
don't-
up. You were. I gave you magic. Here, have some more. And I try to do a fireball here.
you tried to do a firebolt.
Firebolt. Yeah.
What are you doing it at?
Nothing, just up in the air.
No, I'm just trying to like start a flame with my finger. Like snap
Oh.
with magic.
You can do that with prestidigitation.
Yeah, that's all he's. I think that's what he's trying to say. Is
Yeah.
just doing something small.
And I offer to her. Again.
She'll chuckle, and just her chuckle puts out enough of a frosty ice that puts out your fire. Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You worked so hard on that.
Oh, it's all right.
You
Well,
can do it again 1,000 times.
And
Thank
it
God he
still wouldn't
doesn't.
make a difference. Anyways,
So something changed though. He says that
Uh-huh.
Aye.
air here doesn't smell as dead.
It isn't.
Isn't White, well, there's this bad guy up in the sandcastle up yonder. Points behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a not nice fellow, stealing the memories and life force of the Manes, which were the dead children. And,
oh, yeah. I kind of vaguely remember that. I don't know why. It's always, I mean, as far as I know, they've been librarians for as long as I can remember. But now that you say that, I don't remember how long that's been.
I guess you were outside of the change this time.
Oh, how weird. How weird. So,
Very strange.
you guys stand for a while, cause I could put you up. I've got I cleared out the old extra rooms. You know that whole grisly graveyard thing she had in the back. I got rid of that. I don't know what that was for anyway. So, but I cleared that out and made a nice place to put the loot. Oh, by the way, pirates are really not nice guys, and
Oh, aye.
and I know you probably don't approve, Valere, but taking loot from ships that are evil is kind of cool.
Sounds good to me. Someone's got to do it, and you know I'm not going to. So
Well, there is that. She says, but I do lean, therefore, a little bit towards. I'm getting kind of an appreciation for the mined silver of the dwarves. She kind of looks almost sad, like she's not supposed to.
aye, well, it probably reminds you of someone you love.
Well, yeah,
Hey.
but if it's if it's so good, I may not want to go home.
Aye, that's no good. It's up to you, though, Snowy. You can always stay here.
We can come visit.
She
Your
tries,
Be like you
your
are.
mother was a silver.
she tries to hug you, but her chest plate is now so broad that she can't actually bring her arms close enough to her chest to close you into it without crushing you.
He can get a little crushed. Aye, well, your mother was a silver, and there was nae wrong with her. She could still be Cywin, you know. Cywin was a silver.
That's true. That's true. I'm
It's
just
up to
worried.
you
I'm
now,
just, I'm,
Snowy. I just didn't want you to make any of those choices because of me. I wanted you to grow up, knowing what you had to do, being the best you can be, loving people and doing the right thing, and then you could make your own choice.
loving people. People tend to want to like steal loot though.
Yeah, well, people are shitey sometimes.
And you want to know that I learned a language.
Which one?
Ooh.
And she speaks out a few words that sound like a screeching, hissing sound. And she goes, so you have no idea what she's saying, but it's like everybody else. When you learn a language, they want to hear you speak it. So she makes a few sounds that this horrible kind of sickening racket. And she goes, oh, that's remores, you know, the polar worms.
Oh, aye.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
You make friends with them?
let's just say I found peace with them. They don't actually like inside caves, inside stone. They like to stay inside the ice. So I just make sure that I add an extra, few inches of permafrost to their glacier.
Ow.
Ah, well, good you're making friends with the neighbors.
Yeah, their kids are so damn cute, though. Oh God, it's just so cute to watch those little suckers toboggan down the mountain on their own backs. Oh, it's
Wait, is this? Oh wait, never mind.
The
Yes,
same
it's
word
exactly
that
what you're
we.
thinking of.
Yeah.
Eesh.
Yep.
Well,
those
I'm
are-
glad you're doing so good, Snowy. Makes me proud.
Well, thank you. Did you see before? I did get to hear from some of my, now that I'm trading with dwarves, my dwarf friends, that there's a temple that's got my statue in it.
What?
Aye, and
We can't go there anymore. Just so you know, you don't want to go there, cause
I know.
you know,
Fine.
you know.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to hope to keep that part a secret.
Aye, my
I know.
tomb's there. But hey, if I die doing out the best thing that I can do, then good for me.
What
And
about
there's
the
worse
temple?
places to be buried than a big giant statue of you.
Well, that's true. And if you hadn't been the guide that I needed, then I wouldn't be here either. So
Aye, well.
she pats you on the head 7 times. Oh wait, wrong character.
Ha ha ha. I see you've met another friend of mine.
Anyway, she says, "Well, I do have to run. I've got some more errands to do. The niceties of hunting pirates is that they get lots of loot. The problem with pirates is they never stop."
Aye. Well, we'll be going down to the Warrens. I think that's where the next Fellstone is.
Oh, okay. We'll be real careful because they're missing.
They're missing.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The goblins of the Warrens. That's who built the Warrens. They're gone.
That's strange.
What could have driven them out?
I don't know. It was literally woke up and usually expect to do a couple of nuisance raids against them just because it's fun to scare goblins because they run really fast.
Well, I bet if you put your mind to it, you could have scared them out.
Yeah, I don't think so though. There were a lot of them. Matter of fact, for a while their numbers seemed to amplify quickly, and then all of a sudden they were gone.
Oh.
Like they had never been there.
Interesting.
So they just disappeared one day without a trace.
Well, it wasn't one of us. We didn't put a Fellstone there.
No, apparently not. If you have to go there to get one.
Aye.
Hmm.
Well, I suppose we'll find out when we get there.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, it's so nice to see you. Just remember when you go up there. Let me teach you one word in Remoras. If I teach you this one word, then if you come up there, the worms won't consume you.
Oh, that'd be helpful.
Yes.
Without the guttural nature of my language, my speech, it'll sound better. So, it's hislusmus.
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 It's like Christmas, but with a hiss.
Hislusmus. Yes.
It's
Last
There you go. No, not the extra is. That says please, and it's literally don't eat me, but they're not very polite, so don't say please. So hilismus, no extra syllable.
Hilllessness?
Hilismus.
Hillismus.
Yes,
Hill.
Hilllessness.
No
hilismus.
pirate rating? Because that's
Yes.
There's actually even the th in there because it's actually the word isthmus. So hilismus. But if you make that small pronunciation error, you won't have any problems. It's just hilismus.
Aye, people usually appreciate when you give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Hillismus.
Well, thanks, Snowy. Oh, I have something for you.
She pads from one foot to the other like she used to when you gave her snacks.
He goes in, and he gives her the ABCs Draconic to Common. Add it to your horde. Start a library. First book.
That was what I wanted to let you know. I have a new friend.
Oh, aye?
Hmm?
Yeah,
Boyfriend?
his name's Barry.
Ooh,
Very.
Barry. Got a boyfriend.
She looks at you kind of funny, turns her head. I don't think so. He's kind of smelly.
What
Uh,
is he?
He's my librarian.
Ah.
Oh, funny.
Okay, also, he says, well, I've been holding on to this for you since we found it, and I think it belongs to you, and now you can handle it, so let it be the seed for your new horde. And he gives her back the gold coin with the dragon on one side and a fellstone on the other, that she bought from the
Mhm.
thing way back when
I
from
remember.
the
I remember.
halfling and Mariah.
She looks at you and there's like a glisten of a tear starts to form in her eye, and she tucks it between a couple of her scales. She says, "Oh, by the way, important trick. When you do deal with the evil dragons, they do this all the time. So when you slay them, which is sounds horrible, but it's okay. When you slay them, don't forget to shake their corpse."
Will do.
Huh?
Shake the corpse.
Mooncat laugh. To shake out the loose change?
Yes, they'll carry almost a quarter of their loot on their bodies. That's why.
Sounds good.
That's why dragon takeoffs aren't so fast. So I'm just warning you because I travel light. So I will see you again soon, and you know where to find me if you need me. And if you hear about the call before I do, make sure to get the message to me.
Okay.
She,
And
So I
always
gotta
listen
worry.
for the whistle if I'm around.
oh yeah, about that. I had a bit of an. Did I lose everybody?
No?
We're
Okay.
here.
No.
I thought for a second I lost everybody because Scott made a sound on his computer, and I thought it was me losing my.
No.
Good. So I had a bit of an altercation with some bards a while ago, and they got a hold of some really powerful shit. They had a melody that would put even dragons to sleep. So I had to. Let's just say I had to do some form of self-maiming. Maybe that may actually be a tie to why I have this affinity now for silver, because it allows me to not hear the ringing in my ears. But
Oh, Snowy.
Yeah, but the good news is that means that I'm now kind of immune to musical attacks. So just keep that in mind if that's ever.
Oh my God, Mary would love to meet you.
I don't
I
know.
will.
Someday she may. Hopefully under
Well,
good
she knows
circumstances.
now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we'll be seeing you, Snowy. You got to get going. I'll give her a hug. It's a little bit too long.
Yeah. Almost creepy, but not so bad.
It
Anyway,
can't be creepy when it's a dad.
that's true. That's true. But she kind of pulls herself away and she trots back a few steps and says, "Now, I want you to watch this. I learned VTOL. It's really awesome." And she hunches her body down and leaps into the air. And on the first burst of her wings, she's airborne and like a shot, she's headed skyward.
Superman, away!
Xavier will clap him and kind of slowly walk over to Valera and pat him on the shoulder. You're gonna be all right.
So
Nice
nice moment.
I'll be alright.
I don't want to interrupt that moment, but everybody make a quick deck save because her takeoff is so explosive. Even at this distance, there's a chance you get knocked over.
Woo! What?
Valera rolls a 3.
What? I rolled a 19.
That
Yes!
is gonna be a 15 for me.
He lets him fall over onto his back and watches her fly away.
I gotta figure out what I have. That would be Dex. Dex is my best.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
Dex is 4.
Oh, two.
so.
Then I have
So the only thing
my
that'll change is that
level 3.
the only thing that will
the
change
7.
that moment that Scott was starting that I didn't want to interrupt is that he'll actually have to come over and give you a hand to get up off the ground.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I didn't take over, Xavier. What were you saying?
So Xavier will extend his hand to Valera and help him up.
Hi, I'll be alright now.
We'll see her again. So
Closure's
really
better than no
magnificent.
closure. Aye, she's beautiful, wipes the tear away. Let's go. It's time for us to revel in our success.
and
Let's rub it in their faces a little bit, eh? They don't know how bad they had it. Let's inform them.
then I mean if they didn't know,
But the point is, will they remember him?
Oh, no,
Xavier
not at all.
kind of
It's really,
chuckled.
really funny. That was a great segue. So as you're walking along towards the town,
It's
You-
kind of like knowing a language when the other people don't. You get to make fun of them the whole time.
right? But as you're approaching, she's asking, do you think they're going to remember us? And you're going, oh no, they're not going to. And when you come around the corner, there are effigies of you raised in glory to the left and right, and the crowd is clapping and applauding your approach. They're throwing confetti in the air above you.
Oh, I was wrong.
Why is this? Why do they have statues of
When
us?
someone makes a statue of you, unless it's covered in like blood and shit, don't ask why. Just enjoy it.
These aren't really statues. They're like bamboo, but bamboos and reeds. But they have been formed and twisted by what looks like natural magics to look fairly good, decent approximations of all of you, including one of both Tomato and Jack. Tomato proudly astride his steed, with a little spear in his arm, like he's charging forward.
Now,
Nice.
I'm gonna look at my statue and just kind of like, I'm just wondering which version of me did they put in the statue? Is it?
Okay, you're familiar with Rodin's The Thinker?
Yeah.
Yeah, except put your ponged head and fur on it.
Okay. So I'm doing the thinker pose.
The only thing that's about it is that it disturbingly looks like you might be sitting on a toilet.
What would be wrong with that? That is where all thought happens.
Sorry.
Xavier,
That is where much thought happens.
Well, in particular,
That's where time travel was invented.
that's where males came up with thought, right? Because women wouldn't have to do that kind of thinking. Because of course
Yep.
they don't have those issues. That's only a male thing, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Mhm.
Xavier will slightly grimace at the thought of did they really have to make it look that way, but he's okay with it.
No, it's just that there's no back to the seat, as he's sitting there, so
Oh, okay. So,
it looks like he's sitting on a pot. That's all. It's just anyway. So as you guys are looking at it, the crowd notices your appearance, and they all start shouting, "They're here!" and start running towards you. Just en masse. The entire town seems like it's pouring out of that buildings towards you.
Yeah,
She
Rick
kind of
Moranis.
like
Did
shuts back just a little bit. She's uncomfortable with all
Yeah,
these people
it doesn't
running at
matter.
her.
It doesn't matter. There's enough of them. Then they actually lift you all aloft. Even Valere, it takes like 40 guys to get him airborne, but they actually lift you off the ground and transport you down the streets of town towards the
I
palisade.
imagine Valeria is like, "Oh, that's so cute," and then he kind of uses his tail to help himself be lifted up,
Yeah.
so they can get him up.
Yeah, I can see more along the lines of no, I insist, fellas, don't do this. Well, okay. And you lean into it. I can see you.
If you must.
Well, I can see Valere like doing it like on his chest, so he looks like he's flying. That
Huh.
all of a sudden it's a scene from
Then suddenly they throw us into a spike pit. Hooray!
Oh, stop stealing my thunder! I'm just kidding. No, they lift you up and carry you into the town, and you'll see that there
They
are.
were cheering and not jeering.
Yeah, no, they're so glad to see you. But when you get into town, you see that they've formed 4 buildings that are in. Pardon me. Where's my mute button?
Bless you.
He muted himself in time.
Oh man, I had to. That was gonna
Man,
be
Gene,
awful.
you could learn a thing. That's internet class right there.
Thank you.
Oh, look
Except
at when I start
Being
to
able to
sneeze,
hold a sneeze back long enough to mute yourself, man, that's a classy move.
Pineapple. Learn the word pineapple.
Pineapple.
When you're about to sneeze, say out loud, even though silently, to yourself, pineapple, and the motion of your tongue across your top of your mouth between the N and the A in pineapple actually defuses a sneeze for a few seconds.
wow. Okay.
That's a professional speaking lesson that I learned at a professional speaking camp. So
Oh, wait.
pineapple.
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 Then yeah, in there and it gets rid of the sneeze.
Yeah.
It pushes it back.
Pineapple.
It doesn't get rid of it, but it pushes it back a few seconds. And if you do it, you can do it a couple of times, but eventually it's going to make it. So you want to get to a mute button as quickly as you can, or turn ahead or whatever. So there you go. Anyway, the 4 buildings in the center of town, all facing the courtyard, have nuances that reflect something of the personality of the 4 of you. In other words, the face of the structure that is the library has a roof line that is rolled somewhat like the furrowed brow of Xavier. The building of justice has a pinnacle that is somewhat reminiscent of Valere's stature and the proud rise of his shoulders and such like. The Hall of Pleasure is looks like a rambling set of buildings, but when you look at it in the silhouette, it looks like a man and his dog. And the 4th building, which is called the Hall of Revelry, is the Hall of Hunting, which is set up to look somewhat like a typical hunting lodge, but its coloration is reminiscent of the colors that Shadowstalker normally wears.
Shadowstalker.
She got rid of all the A's. It's now back down to
Yeah.
No, it is canon in my book that it's Shadowstalker.
I think so too. I think it should be from now on at least 2 A's, maybe 3.
At least 2
And
A's.
the more excited you are, the longer the A's.
Shadowstalker.
Where the wind goes drifting down the plains. Oh, that's not Shadowstalker. We'll write our own musical. Here we go. All Alrighty. So anyway, they basically are glad to have you here, and over the next couple of hours, they are commemorating their structures and the new concept of their town, which is the idea of four square logic. Their colors are red and white, mainly because of the Apex colors from long ago. It's like they're trying to hold on to the memories of that, but the concepts that were in place under the hardline veils seems to have been undermined somewhat between the two calls from Ralgrim, but also the pressures from within, as those that were in power are seen as threats, and so they downplay and they kind of poo-poo you if you try to start an argument or politics based on the color of your faith. It's not that they don't let you have it; they just don't push it as a.
Yeah.
I
no,
agree entirely.
Yeah, it's literally.
no proselytizing.
Oh, don't get me wrong. No. That'll happen in the bar houses and stuff like that, but it no longer happens from the throne.
Yeah, in the open, it's not so overt, basically.
It's become like the American culture of it's something you don't talk about in polite company. You might talk about it with your friends in private, but you're not gonna.
It's like asking someone the color of their underwear. You know, you just don't do it.
Oh yeah,
Which by the way means the same thing in this culture, right? Because whatever color you wear nearest to your body is probably yours. Anyway, now I should give you a frightening image of me in my orange underwear. So
Ha ha. Why is it orange, John? Why is it orange?
because I'm happy all the time.
Oh, I thought it used to be white and something awful happened.
No. Ah ha ha ha. I am not of this earth. What can I say?
Alright, so what do you guys want to look at first? It's your first fillstone, so go have a ball.
She's gonna walk into the house of the hunter,
Okay.
and then she's gonna go into all of them. But
Yeah, but obviously, that the whole point here is you get to showcase your own. That's good. Yeah. So when you walk into the hall of the hunter, first of all, everybody wants to do that classic hunter hug where they grab your forearm first and then bring you into the embrace kind of thing.
okay,
But you also find that the reason why they're doing that is the very first person is actually the bouncer, and he does like that. He's checking to see whether you got a quiver on your back.
okay,
And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're going to have to disarm. Although this is a hall of hunting, we don't prefer violence inside the structure. We save our violence for eliminating monsters and capturing
okay.
prey."
She will take off her bow and her quiver of arrows, and no, she keeps her bow and puts down the quiver of arrows.
Well,
Her
yeah,
bow's
then they point
very precious to her.
they do point at the string though and ask you to de-string.
Yes, she unstrings it
And you walk
very
inside.
carefully.
You walk inside. One of the things that's cool about this place is that each table has its own rack for the bows at the end of the table. So there's a place where you put your bows and crossbows right there next to the table, so that all of them
Okay.
get to them. And I know that today's world is a little gauche about it, but this place already has the heads of various types of hunting prey on the walls: elk and caribou and a mighty hog,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
Who took down the hog? That is a mighty beast.
Oh, that would have been Amberlin. They point over to a small table, and there's a halfling waves.
Good on you.
Thank you.
Greetings.
Yes.
You slew a mighty beast.
It was actually easier than you think. You'd be surprised how soundly piggies can sleep.
Ah. Was he causing problems in the area?
Well, yes. I mean, look at his size. He was eating more than his share of our grains and plundering and knocking over our fence lines. And well, he fouled two of the pawns nearby too. Now, no, don't get me wrong. He wasn't like excreting him.
He wasn't.
He was
yeah,
actually just
he wa-
rolling in them and making it hard for the animals to get clean water for a while. So, but that's okay. It's okay. While I was there, I checked in on his mates, and he had several litters going. So there will be plenty of hunting to do in the future.
Well done.
Well, thanks.
So she
Well done on you too.
walks over, and your name is
I already said I'm Amberlin.
Amberlyn.
Yeah.
Do you have a last name, Amberlyn?
Anne Boleyn.
Oh.
Anne Boleyn.
Anbo Lynn.
Exactly.
Anne Boleyn.
Okay.
Not at all to be confused with the one that got her head cut off.
Oof.
Anbo Lynn.
Ambo Lynn.
Yeah.
Ah, Lynn means meadow
Hmm.
by the water.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Didn't know you knew Halfling.
Oh, it's actually that word is in our language too. It seems to be very old,
It
from
probably
one
is.
way or the other.
It probably
Same
is.
roots in Draconic.
We're going to be instituting in all the halls of hunting where our champions get to name an alcoholic beverage that will be in their
Dragon
honor.
boogers.
What does
Man,
Tomato
that's
shout?
great.
How is the hunter's heart?
Boogers.
Okay, so do me a
A
favor.
hunter's heart.
Do me a favor. Put these in the chat so that way I can then create what those.
What about
drinks are.
Hunter's Hearth? Because then it's like a warming drink.
No, the heart of the hunter, the one that goes forth.
She wants
to-
to give somebody liquid courage. That's what she's talking about. If I can't be brave enough, I'll just drink some Hunter's Heart and I'll be fine. Hunter's Heart, I can see Hunter's Heart private label, available only from Nycos stores across the country. So each one of you gets to name a drink here. So
Oh.
what was it you were shouting, Tomato?
Yes, I can't. You missed.
What do you mean?
How do I
missed?
send it?
You click on the box that says chat. Oh, you're on your phone again, aren't you?
No. Type message here.
So
Oh,
click the more button, and then click chat.
to everyone.
That'll automatically go to everyone. If you clicked on my box only, it only comes straight to me. But if you want everybody else to see it, then you put it in the to everyone chat.
Oh, I thought you meant on Discord. You meant on Zoom.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter either one. I can pull text from either one.
How about a shot of brandy in cream?
Whatever you'd like to include as recommendations. you do that.
I got it.
I'll find ways to make it flavorful too. Go ahead, Valer.
Just a second.
Some herbs too, like maybe tarragon to give it a touch of licorice.
The Prismatic Punch.
There we go. Nice.
There we
And
go.
I imagine that they'd have to roll, and whatever they roll can depend on what elemental punch in the gut they get from drinking it.
Oh, I thought when you drank it, it was such an impact on your physiology that you automatically had to punch somebody. That's the way I saw it. Slam the drink.
Sure.
And punch somebody.
Maybe that's the end. They might change colors. Who knows?
Who knows?
You never know with the Prismatic Punch. Your destiny is up to
Oh,
you.
I like that one. Way to go, Tomato. That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Jack's
What?
Drool.
Jack's drool?
Yep.
Yes.
It's definitely gonna be a frothy, kind of greenish mix. I can imagine a little bit of flecks of like maybe protein. It has bacon. It has to have bacon.
It does. It does.
What's Xavier's gonna be?
I'm coming up with a name right now, but the problem is I don't know anything about alcoholic beverages because we.
What about Banana X?
It doesn't.
XXX.
It doesn't.
Banana.
It doesn't have to have anything to do with actual alcohol, because none of us at this. I don't believe anybody at this table except for Tomato actually is a
Right.
drinker of alcohol on a regular
Yeah.
basis.
We can make a version drink.
Drool.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, no. You can make.
We
you
make
can
them
call
as
it-
no. The cool thing is that we make them as intoxicating as we want, because none of us will ever actually drink them. So Except for you. You might actually, if we make these, you might actually hunt them down.
I might if it's a good if it sounds like a good recipe, I would make it in real life.
I'm not adverse to sharing if anybody else likes the combination.
That's true, but I mean, I just
I know. How about Xavier's version? Oh no, version Xavier. There you go.
Too close to reality.
Too bad they didn't have chocolate liqueur. It could be brandy and chocolate liqueur.
sure.
It's gotta have bananas.
Right then.
Bananas are his favorite.
And a touch
Okay,
of cream,
yes,
whipped
there
cream
has
on top.
to be bananas involved in this. I was just trying to come up with a name, and all I could think of is Lucid Mind because I'll go with.
Okay, so here's the thing. It could be Bananas Xavier, like Bananas Foster. Since there's no Foster on Nycos.
And
Banana
there's only one Xavier.
Or it could be Bananas Foster, and Foster is actually Xavier's first name, just like we didn't find out that our paladin had a first name for how long?
Yeah, well.
Who was your paladin?
Aaron Teshetta.
Aaron?
Yes. Let me think. For a second.
Bannister, whatever it was.
What was his?
It was because some lady walked up and he's like,
There's a first
I'm Sir blah blah blah. We're like, what? You've introduced your name as like Bannister for like
No.
6 months, and this is the first time we hear your last name?
Oh no, his name was even funnier than that because it was only like his actual character name that we called him all the time was one syllable, right? He's always this one. I'll think of it here in a second. But all of a sudden he was Sir blah 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 blah, and we go, what? And it was just because there was a girl player that came in the room. That was the thing. Was that if it had been an NPC woman, it probably wouldn't have come out. But the fact that there was an actual person sitting there who was a female personage, he lost it. It just went off, and it was like.
It was funny.
It was hysterical, and for months after that, we kept giving him grief over using both of his names. He's like, "You're never gonna let me forget this." I'm like, no, we won't.
No.
I'll think of it in a second because it was in Chult. It was his Adventure League character.
How about Banana Nog?
No.
How about this? Bananigans, like as in shenanigans.
You know what? Yeah, we'll go with that, Vernon, because I do like that. I would.
Banana shenanigans.
Ooh.
I want a banana shenanigans.
Yeah, that sounds like a good.
That's a nice ring. Banana shenanigans.
Yeah. Banana
Banana-
shenanigans, fee-fi fo-fanigans.
That's the
Wow.
rest
Hey,
of the
guy,
menu,
you just
John.
ruined it.
Banana
Fun.
shenanigans.
Banana,
Phenomena.
fo-fana, banana, fee-fi
I got
fo-fana.
it.
Right, so let's go on to the next place. Who's next?
I mean,
Pumpkin place.
What
yeah,
was
I'll go into the
James? I mean, what was Mooncat's drink?
The Hall of Knowledge.
What was hers? Hunter's Heart. There's a shot of really stiff brandy in a cup of warm milk or something like that.
Cream.
So it's like
I know, Roomba time.
And the only other thing
we
is
get to know
they
when your
had
house gets cleaned because the dog comes running. That's funny.
the chocolate liqueur. If they had chocolate, so it was like,
So it's a chocolate milk.
yeah, so it was like, yeah, but it'd be a liquor. So it'd
Yeah.
be brandy and a chocolate liquor. But anyway, I
That
like
might
the brandy
actually
and
make
the
that
cream.
interesting.
Just brandy and cream.
Okay,
Right?
As
Right.
much or as little cream as you want.
nice. All right. Depends on how big-hearted you are, right?
That sounds like a great idea, Gene. Thank
I-
you for more ideas. Yeah, look this up.
Man, it's dumb.
And I'd use heavy cream. You know, the top cream.
That's
Banishanikins.
I like that better than my banana shenanigans. Yeah, banishanikins. That's good.
You can only order it after you're like 8 drinks in.
Because then
I want a Banishanikins.
Are you sure you
Man, bubble.
Well, think of it. That makes sense because he always wants the last word. See, so the last word is he got to be able to pronounce the drink to drink it.
Yes, yes.
Shenanigans.
You can't.
Shenanigans.
If you can't say it, you can't have it.
Yeah, the more correctly pronounce it, the less alcohol they put in it. So when you're really drunk, there's shenanigans, like 3 shots and that's it. Nice.
They put in 1 sleeping potion and 1 bit of banana mixed, muddled all together.
Depends on when you serve it.
Yeah.
If you serve it first thing in the morning. You put something with a bit of a bite to it, like a whiskey, and then in the evening you switch it out for rum or something. So
I imagine that it's like a hollowed out banana. So you use the banana like a straw, and then you eat the banana to help save off the alcohol. And...
I like that.
Yes, I love where this is.
I think that we will find that the banana shenanigans are going to end up being drinks everywhere, and each place will have a slightly different interpretation of what it is. Kind of like the cheesesteak sandwiches, right? Because
Yeah.
Philadelphia claims to do the cheese sandwich better than anybody else, but everybody that makes the Philly makes it differently. So.
But
Yeah,
Apex had it first, folks.
That's what it's better because it's always different.
That's
There's
right.
no one clear answer.
The first of the commemorative drinks are coming from the Fellstones. There you go.
Hooray! Let's go
Alrighty.
check out the library.
There's a library?
Yeah.
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 It's Xavier's place.
Xavier's place.
Yep.
And maybe it's a little stereotypical, but think Jungle Cruise.
You get to sit on a boat and go buy the little shelves, and then you just pick
Right.
the books off you want.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, and of course the guy that's pushing you around, because these are all human-powered little gondolas.
Why would they have water in the library where books are?
Magic water, Gene. Shut up.
Well, I'm also thinking like it's almost like the river is just far enough away from the books that it won't.
No, it's
Okay.
it's totally magical. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The books are all preserved. I'm just going
Yeah.
for the motif here, in that the guides that walk you through the library are all taught horribly bad jokes to do as you go around.
And now,
You
as
have
we
to
go around
watch
the
out
bend,
for the
behold,
Acropolis. 'Cause
the 19th wonder of Nycos, the backside
Side
of
of wa-
fiction.
Exactly.
Xavier is going to audibly grimace at like the 15th one of these bad jokes or when we get that far.
And then, they turn around and say, "No, you don't realize these are actually quotes we've taken from Xavier over going all the way back to his childhood. Since he's always had an affinity for the language, he's always been a punster. So,
That's why he's grimacing.
Sorry, folks, it's all over. Now we're back to history.
So, as we're going through, he's actually going to try and find a book, see if they have any books on the Warrens, so he can kind of.
that's really funny. You should ask that, because give me a good name for your Mones, Scott, since it's your library.
My man.
Yeah, come up with a name for somebody who has lived for 40 lives.
And the only thing I can think of right now is something akin to, not quite Methuselah, but something along the
John,
Yeah.
I know what the book's called, okay?
Okay.
When it's a modern brochure about the actives goings on in the Warrens, and because the goblins are all gone, it's called War and Peace? Question mark?
Nice.
Oh my.
Nice. That's awesome. That is awesome.
War and Peace?
War and Peace.
I go looking
Hey, and it was
for a
actually
book.
it was actually transcribed by a Nimblewright. That Nimblewright belonged to an Irish author. So it was Lee O'Toole's toy that wrote it.
He's a
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I kind of read through that just to see if I can get a basic idea what to expect, but it's probably gonna be
Let's,
like,
as far as the librarians, why don't we make his name Enoch? Because Enoch was the son of Methuselah.
yes.
Hey, can Valer see if they have a coloring book section? He needs a new Color by Dragons.
I was going to say, we probably have a vendor section that'll sell those.
Yeah.
But I
Needs
want
the
to find
newest
it
issue.
something on modern, native animal habitats to see if I can find anything about great eagles.
Oh, okay. Okay, we can definitely do something with that.
So I can find where maybe the closest Erie might be. Or
Well, it's really
habitation.
funny you should mention that, since that mountain range just north of you is called Arias.
Eries to Owls. A Hunter's Guide.
Okay.
I'll come up
I
with
feel like
name
that's
for
a
it in
real
second.
book.
She takes it out and finds a table and a chair or
Smeagol's Eagles.
somewhere to sit and
No, I see. It's a book on actually how to hunt down and discover the nesting areas of giant birds, and it's called "I Want a Rock" in big bold letters with ROC with an apostrophe with exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
no, I don't.
I want to rock. I want
a
a
rock.
ROC.
We all want the ROC, don't we?
yes,
Yep.
yes.
Any books you want to look
Oh,
for,
there
Tomato?
we go. A randomly operating cannon. That's what I want to rock.
Right. That's
Randomly operating cannon.
Yeah, just point it away from yourself.
Wait, that is Nycos. Randomly operated cannon. Sometimes I say it's rules, and sometimes I say, no, it isn't.
Haha.
Wow, okay, so he wants a book on classy belching. Okay.
An alphabet. You and your stomach.
Nice.
I've done that.
I think we need to go to the Halls of Reverie.
I think it sounds like a trip to the Halls of Revelry. But we'll come up with the actual names of those books that you guys picked up, because I want that also put into the notes. Because
Okay, you say where to find. I want to rock.
I think so. I want to rock. ROC.
Wanna. WANNA.
Sure.
War and Peace, which I am probably gonna horribly misspell it because that's what I do.
You misspell things? You don't misspell things. You spell them the right way. Huh.
What kind of books did Tomato and Jock want to look into?
Place. Okay, I know. How to train your dog to talk.
You'll actually find one written by King
Bowser.
Kush the Long Pipe.
Oh god.
Yeah,
That's a joke at your expense that you didn't realize. Thank you for that very much, Tomato and Jack. That was very.
The first part of it was Hunter's Guide, wasn't it? Or just I want to rock. Oh.
No, I Want to Rock, the Hunter's Guide to Aviation.
Oh, I need to redo that.
Just do it again. It's the easy way. Just retype it. There's a really sad story that Mary found. A book. She was looking for I Want to Rock. She looked up and said, I want.
And here's it. This is probably horribly misspelled, but
Now, how did that get up there when I didn't even send it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It sent the first part of what I had typed, and there was other stuff behind it, and it didn't send it. It just said WAA, and I
More than likely, what happened is that as you were moving up past it, you highlighted just those 4 letters, and then sent. I've done that time and time again. It happens.
yeah.
Righto, to the halls of Revere.
To the halls of revelry. Tomato and Jack. It's a meandering place. Imagine Dave and Buster's with real knives and guns, so to speak.
There's guns?
Well, crossbows.
Oh.
Pop guns. Cork-powered pop
Yeah.
guns.
Oh, pop guns? Ooh.
Yeah, those were written with license from Angus Hereford.
Valere grabs a chunk of wall and see what it tastes like.
Like wall.
Oh.
A Hunter's
That's
Guide to you.
To Avion. AVION.
To
Let's see. What would Jack do?
Avian.
Well, there's a huge
No,
what do you call it? Pet. What do they call it? Where you send your pet to stay? That's the word for that.
Pet Palace.
A huge kennel that has long dog runs and things like that and they do pet adoptions and that kind of stuff here.
Oh, look at that. Look at they're moving up in the world. They got...
I just need more targets. That's all.
What? You're shooting dogs?
You haven't seen it yet. You're still young, Tomato. I tend to eliminate pets pretty handily if they're not being taken care of. If you don't want one, you don't have to have one.
Hey, Steven, mute yourself when you're not talking. Your fan's really loud.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought that was just the close proximity of the wing beats as the dragon's still hovering outside. I'm kidding. Just turned away from your head.
Come on, Steven, it's your Hall of Reverie. What do you want to do?
What do you think is here? What do you want to... It's an arcade. All kinds of games of chance and...
Well, I'm going to go check out the games of chance, honestly.
Okay, so there's a dwarven tossing game.
Are they tossed dwarves back and forth?
No, they actually have basically a huge Velcro wall, and they put the dwarves into little Velcro suits, and you throw them at the wall.
Valere
It's like a big
forced
bullseye.
Tomato into a Velcro suit.
You can get him into it because it's his size. Because remember, he's a halfling, so yeah.
Are you ready for this, Tomato?
I need an adult.
Okay, roll
Spin your
percentage.
partner round and round. He's gonna take him by the ankles and starfish him at the wall.
Nice. Okay, so both of you get to roll percentage dice here. One is for the takeoff, and the other one's for the landing.
All right.
Woo!
Is there a winning in this game?
Oh
Odd
yeah.
3.
There's style points for how well you fly through the air, and then you get a bonus if you hit the target.
All right.
Odd 3.
Woo!
He was spinning out of that gate.
12, and I add prestidigitation to like sparks flying, like colorful sparks.
Nice. So you do this arcing spiral, slam into the wall, make a D12 for damage that you take though.
D12, D12, D12.
We're for sure getting the high score on this one. Ain't no one gonna beat this score.
That is
Got a
weird.
12.
Ouch. That hurt.
Yeah. So you took 12 points of damage. You smashed into the wall.
It was worth it though.
Yeah. Oh man.
You hit so hard that it takes 2 dwarves to drag you off the wall, though the Velcro was stuck so tight.
Did it win?
Ray, we want that high score posted above the sign so everyone can see it.
Okay, well
And-
that total score was only 12 plus 2, which is a 14, which is pretty good. So everybody's got to, somebody else needs to roll 2 percentage dice for me and try to get under that 14.
Okay, I will.
All right.
37.
That's not gonna. Even the throw was off on that one. Next attempt, Scott.
Okay.
Are we still throwing tomato or someone else?
It's another dwarf. These are other teams.
No, we're just throwing tomato over and
I
over
don't know
and
if I
over
can-
and over again. It's the day of his life. It's the happiest day.
Is that what he wants? He's up for that. We're going for that.
I
don't know, man.
I think he took a lot of
Guys,
damage.
please.
on
I
that.
asked
Yeah.
Tomato a question. Let him answer the question first.
I said I just lay down, but I like attached little balls to the dancing lights to the dwarves, so when they go flying, they have at least lights going at them.
Oh, so you make it more fun for the poor dwarf. I got you. But they were actually talking about just using you to throw you again and again because everyone's lifting you to their shoulders before they toss you. So it's honoring you being here in the bar that's been built in your honor.
Fuck it, yeah, let's do this.
There we
You
go.
can throw
That's
me.
what, I thought we'd get the right attitude out of it eventually. All right.
Woo!
By the end of the night, of
Kill
course.
me every time.
By the end of the night, you're like close to life points. But then twice the priests have come in and given
Oh
you
no,
healing points.
Valer will handle it. He's got lay on hands. He's just gonna, hey buddy, you're looking pretty bad. Smack him on the back, give him 5 points.
There
Let's
you go.
go again.
Yay.
Okay, so I got a 45.
Okay, yeah, that was even worse. So that poor dwarf probably landed upside down on the wall.
I'm going this time.
Xavier is not good at throwing.
I didn't imagine it was you doing it. I meant I was just having you roll for me for other teams. Unless you want to throw him.
Xavier
Throw him. Throw him.
Xavier will actually try one.
All right, so this case, both of you get to roll again. So each of you rolls percentage dice and adds it together. You got to get under 14 to beat the initial score.
I don't want to beat my initial score.
And flub the roll.
I know, I am.
So I got a 6.
Uh-oh.
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 I need a roll. I got a 10.
That would beat it. No, it won't. It'd be 2 points
No.
shy. That actually is pretty cool to have you guys be the top 2 scores, though. That's pretty cool.
14 and 16. Aw, yeah.
Come on, Gene.
Hey, wait.
Throw
can
the
really beat the
tomato.
score.
Throw the tomato. Throw the tomato.
Okay,
Steven,
the percentage dice
If
again?
we use all of our BPs, I'm sure we can roll lower than that.
I'm not about to use. No, I rolled another 37.
Way too high.
You clearly just don't have the halfling throwing skill that Valer has.
Yes, you d-
Or the
you
intent,
have-
or the positive intent that Tomato has of hitting that wall so hard.
Yeah.
He somehow turns into the dive, right? So you guys want to try to use your BPs to beat your own score? 'Cause
No.
No.
No, I'm not wasting BPs like that. Yeah.
on a game.
14
Oh,
and 16 sounds awesome to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, top 2 scores would be hard to beat. We'll have to check every time you come into the bar. Check it out.
Of course, it depends on how drunk the people get as to what they score high or low.
Well, that's true. When you get really lotto, you don't care. Ah, look how stupid the dwarf looks. Yay. All right. From the Hall of Reverie to...
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Dwarf tossing leaderboard. That's good.
Yeah, we had all 4 of them.
No,
Right?
we haven't. Which
We've
one have
still
we
got-
missed?
Pongan.
No, we did the Pongan
No.
first. That was the library. Second. that was
Valairs?
library. We haven't do the Hall of Justice yet.
No, no
Oh, okay, the Hall of Justice. Valaire's place.
All right.
Let's
There
go
we go.
see that.
There we go. Tomatoes on the board twice. That's gonna be the hard thing. It's a bar in Tomatoes' honor, and he's on the board in the top 2. No one's really gonna want to beat that score because it's like, oh, we don't want him.
They'll see how if they can tie it.
I'll tell you what. If anybody at any point ever does get ahead of that score, you guys will be there'll be like a message sent to you. So
They
And
beat
it'll be
your
like-
score.
sign your name to teleport back and
I'm
redo.
talking after the end of 8th iteration. If this bar is still standing at the end of time, the next iteration, you guys as avatars should be able to come back and defend your score. that's just funny.
So it's
He who shall beat this score shall face the wrath of the
Of
future
Tomato.
paragons.
Hey, that's one way to summon them, right?
Yeah.
A new form, new form of.
We need help, everybody. We must beat the high score.
oh my god.
The world's ending. Hurry, find a dwarf and a Velcro
Hi,
board.
Toby.
I really am building RPO. What can I say? It really is Ready Player
Hi,
One.
Toby.
Nice.
My big cat just came in the room.
Nice.
What?
So what monstrosity is the Hall of Justice?
Well, first of all, when you walk in, it looks like a casual lounge. There's all these big, comfortable chairs to lounge in while you're waiting your turn.
Oh, this is nice.
There's a gentle melody being played by wind chimes. Nothing, really aggressive or anything like that. At the entrance to the place, though, is a statue of Valer. The sword that he's got in front of him, the typical pose of holding the big double-handed blade or whatever, is a good, probably 6-foot-long blade. So I don't know. I can't remember how big the sword you currently have is, but it's pretty impressive
I have
statuary.
Switchblade is the great sword
Mm-hmm.
optional, and then the other one is the long sword. Froggerach is a
Right.
long sword.
That's right. Anyway, so this is clearly the great sword. To the left and the right are doors that above them say G and NG.
GNNG.
Mm-hmm.
Girl and not girl?
No. Think
No,
about it.
it's
Hall of Justice. Which are you going
Good
to climb?
and good or not good?
No.
It's
Well, close.
guilty or not guilty.
Thank you. So are you willing to admit your crime, or are you going to try to hide your crime? So you're walking through and making your plea by determining which doorway you go through.
Oh, I'm guilty. Guilty is charged. Being the hero? Hell yeah, I'm guilty.
Okay, so you're walking through
Is
the G
it-
door. Which you guys going through? G doors or NG doors? So I can tell whether we're all going together or we're going to go in. It's okay. You can go and run through both ways. I don't care. But if you want to do it separately, we can do it
As
separately.
far as I'm concerned, I'm not guilty of anything.
Good. That's appropriate.
Yeah.
So you're going to go through the door marked NG.
Yeah.
Tomato? Guilty or not guilty?
Are you there?
Tomato. Guilty or not guilty?
What do you plead?
I don't think he's there.
Xavier. Guilty or not
Sorry,
guilty?
I thought I had the thing on. See, this is why I don't turn off the mute button.
There has a little red corner in the corner of your picture that shows a little dead microphone when you're muted.
Well, I'm using my phone.
Oh, okay.
Are you guilty or not guilty?
I am not guilty.
Okay, he's going with
I am
me.
the most
Shame.
unguilty person in this world.
Yeah, all right. And then Xavier?
I have a guilty conscience right
There
now.
we go. So the two of you walk through the guilty doors. All right.
He had too many banana shenanigans.
Exactly. He's being a little too honest now. Okay. So I'm going to do the not guilty first. You walk through, and there is a person clearly of clerical nature, big long pen in his hand, big book in front of him. He asks your names.
Jack and Tomato.
Your full name, sir.
Tomato and Jack.
Tomato and Jack?
Yes. You have no familial.
Last name.
Tomato.
And Jack.
And Jack.
Understood.
N is the last name. Oh. Middleman.
Tomato.
It's a zone of
no,
truth, so if you have a last name, you have to tell them.
Okay, I don't have a last name.
Okay. And you, miss?
I am Ariellen. No, I am Mooncat Shadow Stalker.
Shadow Stalker.
Shadow Stalker.
And we
Zone
need,
of Truth, you gotta say it.
I'm a high elf.
You're not a high elf. That's a lie.
You said I was a.
I said you were a
No.
Dayan elf.
Oh, a Dayan elf.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I'm a Dayan elf, and I'm a ranger. As was my father and mother before me.
as I was before them.
And on until the beginning of time.
Yes. So, what is your crime?
I'm not guilty of any crime.
For what are you accused?
Nothing. I've not been accused. I just walked through the door that said not guilty because I am not guilty.
Not guilty of what?
Anything. Of living?
If you're not guilty of nothing, then you're guilty of something.
Oh, I am
That's
guilty.
some not logic right there.
That's some not logic. That's alabaster logic.
Well, you have to realize that the not guilty course does lead you through dealing with the white veil. So,
Okay. I
because you said you're not guilty,
am not guilty of anything
No.
then why did you enter the Hall of Justice?
because it belongs to Valaire and we all were
That's
curious.
not true either. It does not belong to Valaire.
It wasn't.
I'm walking back through the other door now.
Dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel. Dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel.
It doesn't belong to Valaire.
Okay. It was dedicated to him?
You say it as a question, but yes.
Just pick a crime and say you're not guilty of it.
I am not guilty of lechery.
Okay.
Ooh, that's lies. That's a lie, and I call it bullshit.
Zone of Truth, sorry.
You go ahead, pass through.
Thank you.
Okay, and your name was Tomato and Jack, yes?
Yes.
And what's your favorite color?
This is a very difficult question. Give me.
That's why it was a Zone of Truth question. So,
First one comes to your mind. Say it. 1, 2, 3.
Red.
There you go.
Red color red.
red. Oh, all right. Off you go. Next room.
Yay, Jack! Wait, you're not gonna ask Jack?
Roof.
See?
Jack doesn't speak common. Sorry.
You are one entity, dude. Tomato and Jack.
I know. I just wanted.
After you teach your dog to talk in common from the book that you got from the library, written by Kush the Long Pipe, then I can ask your dog questions. Then
Yes.
then you really won't like the answers.
Yeah.
Oh
Now, he
my.
might speak the truth about you.
Hey, well,
Okay.
beautiful.
So he goes, oh wait a minute. What's your crime?
My crime is I don't have a crime. My crime is
Arrogance.
lechery, I guess. Lechery, I'll go with that. I haven't been lecherous yet.
In case I'm afraid you've probably taken the wrong door, sir.
What? I haven't.
You're not.
I'm not guilty of it.
Right, but this is a zone of truth, sir.
Oh. So I had to tell the truth?
That's exactly right.
I haven't done.
Yeah, I remember that girl in the haystack during summer festival. Yeah,
Well,
I was thinking more along the lines of that pool where that girl, where he tried to invite that girl into the waiting pool just yesterday.
Waiting pool.
When you were taking the bath.
I didn't invite a girl into the pool.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. That's why I'm confused.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm going through this door now because you making things up, and that's a crime.
Okay, we don't have any accuser anyway, so help yourself.
I'm watching you, man. Sheesh. I walk through the door. Yeesh. Try to do nothing wrong and you get blamed for doing something.
Walk in the next room. It's Red Veil Priest. For you,
Hey,
anyway.
Oh, I should have chosen something else.
What about Xavier?
Xavier and you both went to the guilty
Guild.
doors. I'll come back to you in a minute. I'm just dealing with the
No,
rest
I
of-
think Scott, did you go through guilty or not guilty?
I went through guilty.
He went through guilty just like you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
he actually said, I think I have a guilty conscience, and that's when we were talking about having too many banana shenanigans.
Yep, I remember.
All right, so the red veil priest looks down at Tomato and says, "All right, so we are not guilty of lechery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but what about the rest of your crimes?
What other crimes?
Oh, I'm sure you have others.
Well, then tell me my other crimes. You can't just say I have other crimes and not tell me my crimes.
Are you not familiar with the way we do things here? Truth
Yes,
truth can only come through pain.
Well, I don't know. I don't believe in that type of stuff.
Really, then why did you say your favorite color was red? Because this is clearly the best course for you. It's a way to keep your self in control.
She just asked my favorite color. She didn't ask me my preference of justice. Why do you have to put so much emphasis on color?
Because we want you to face judgment by your own scale. It wouldn't be fair to judge you.
If I'm going to face justice, then I don't have to worry about it because there's no justice in this world that can. Oh man, that's some arrogance right there.
Mm-hmm. So maybe the sin is arrogance.
No. I'm walking away now. I don't need this. I'm not doing this.
Well, this is the door you entered. This is the choices you've made.
Well, then I disagree with the choices that you made. This is not me, man. I didn't do anything wrong, so therefore I don't get to be punished.
I plead the 5th iteration.
Which is really funny because guess what 5th iteration was? The Pact.
Not so. Blame it on the humans.
Now, basically the justice system here is you recriminate yourself, and I'm not going to put you through the full ringer. But
Wait, can I try something? I'm going to use charm person and say, I'm not guilty.
Obfuscating the reality by altering the conditions. Sounds like you're guilty of something.
Well,
You have to realize, okay, so the red veil is the responsibility or responsible fundamentally for the Inquisition. So you put yourself in a position where you're not going to be found without a crime because you came in here claiming to be non-guilty.
What's the guilty side like?
The guilty side, okay. So they you eventually get out of there because this is just an exemplar. On the guilty side, you walk through and they say, well, I'm gonna go with Xavier first, if you don't mind, because in your case,
Sure.
okay. Welcome, Xavier. How can we help you, and what have you to what crime are you admitting?
Okay, first of all,
Confessing.
what veil is this guy? What color is he
You
wearing?
can't tell. He's a soldier.
I am guilty of being way too curious and constantly searching for the truth of everything.
Yes, but in what way is that criminal?
That's criminal when you don't necessarily think about the actions which result from your quest.
So you've performed breaking and entering? What are you suggesting that you what are your crimes? Being curious is itself not criminal in any culture.
Mm,
That depends on what happens when you accidentally release something that ain't not to be released. Therein lies the crime.
So you release something, and that's what you're admitting to.
what did you release?
Out
You're
of
not
character.
there.
That's
Monkey
it.
got your tongue?
Do it.
Yes,
Count
I
on me, too.
released something which should have remained bound.
Are you so certain?
When you've seen the face of evil, you know what evil truly is.
So you release something evil.
Oh boy, you're pushing it.
From my perspective, it was fairly bad.
Okay.
And I'm
What did you
I'm-
release?
What
Uh,
to what level of complicity do you hold yourself for their evil?
by releasing this thing, or by making a deal with this thing, I am complacent in its
What's the name of the guy?
lamp.
Just a quick out of character. What's the name
Yeah.
of the guy that shot or what? I'm gonna say Hans something or other. That was the shooter.
Solo?
The shooter had an opportunity to shoot Hitler and didn't.
Oh, I don't know.
Hans. God, the guy that
Christian
Tom.
Andersen.
No. It's actually
This is a
like,
guy that could kill Hitler and he didn't.
Hans Zox.
yeah, it was a German shootist. About midway through the war, they realized that Hitler was a threat, and he was in a position as a sniper to actually take a bead on the Führer, and he did. He actually lined up on him and then didn't take the shot.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Was it Is that what Valkyrie was based on, or am I thinking?
No. Valkyrie's different. Valkyrie was a combined effort when they all collectively knew. But I'm gonna go look just a second.
Man, we're not having a good Red Veil encounter if we don't bring up Hitler.
They had to bring
Yep.
him up, right?
Wait, does he?
That's what. Okay,
he
I
didn't-
thought this
he
guy
not
was.
take the shot because he didn't get orders or something.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel guilty about what you did. You should feel bad about what you did.
I think he's
That-
trying to
Oh.
make you feel better, Scott.
Yeah, because you're not evil. You didn't know it was evil. You didn't know what you were unbinding. It could have been somebody good, right?
Based on the appearance Xavier saw, he should have known that it was.
Blame it on Glim and move on. That's what I do.
Nice.
Yeah, he's not here. Just blame it on him.
But I mean,
How dare he not be here,
This
man?
is-
Glim is currently the one doing the time, so clearly he's the one that did the crime.
Ha.
Ha 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 ha.
How's that for an ad hoc logic?
Okay, so the movie version you're talking about is that was Klaus von Stauffenberg and his crowd, but that's
Yeah.
not what I'm speaking of. I'm speaking of a previous. It was actually
We'll
a book.
figure it out.
It was a book written by somebody. Oh gosh, I can't remember. I'll have to look it up later. But anyway, there was a guy who actually physically did have an opportunity to shoot Hitler, but Hitler hadn't been yet associated with the final solution, and therefore he didn't have a compelling enough case to actually pull the trigger, so he didn't. And then later, when it was all revealed, I think he felt bad enough that he eventually commit suicide himself because he didn't. I just remember reading a book about the subject some time ago. But anyway, my point being exactly what they're saying. You were speaking with something that was in a cage that claimed to be evil, but it was making rational sense, and you and another arguably less logical person made a fairly concise case for liberating it in favor of remaining where it was so that you could actually plant the fellstone.
Yeah.
And that was really what the whole point was. They were making it so you could get there.
Yeah.
So, your sense of guilt is there. But let me ask you this question: What do you think your sentence should be for such a crime?
Isolation.
I
or death?
cannot say. I mean, I feel like
Well, you came here for justice. So what is fair justice for what you did?
Try
maybe
to rectify the problem.
being forced to
Watch The Simpsons 24
eventually
hours a day.
Oh God, kill me.
confront the entity I released and deal with it.
Whoa, you're gonna fight a demon?
So you wish that the justice of the universe was that you had to hunt down the tongue eater and kill him personally.
Wait. How do you know it's a tongue eater?
I think that's what he's saying.
You want to kill
I
the tongue eater?
know.
Totally go for this.
Xavier will put up a finger. I never gave it a name.
Are crimes not self-evident?
How did you know it's tongue eater? Sorry, I'm not there. Hey, trust me.
We
That way he can shout at his screen and not have you hear it. That's funny.
okay, so. And this is the part that sorry.
What do you think?
Crimes are self-evident to a point, but a guilty conscience cannot be easily swayed depending on the severity of the perceived crime.
But what if that very guilty conscience is itself a penance of a sort? You beat yourself up over it every day. It's nobody else's to carry.
The more righteous the man, the greater the guilt. Guilt is a proof of your goodness.
If what you're asking is permission to hunt him down, I don't see any reason to preclude you from that. But I don't see any reason to pass a judgment on you for what seemed to be a sound judgment at the time, considering also what it successfully resulted in, which was the planting of the third fellstone.
Is this in meta?
Sort of.
Yeah, this is a meta.
You're in a zone of meta. Be careful.
The meta zone.
So you're saying I have no guilt because I am already.
No, you're perfectly fine to have guilt. Does anybody else have to pass judgment on you? No.
Can I have guilt instead? I
You
can go
want
for some
guilt?
chocolate.
You want some guilt instead of guilt? Yeah.
Yeah, some chocolate coins. I can go for that.
Xavier doesn't know what guilt is yet. Well, actually, side note, he may have that, but
We could go to Nixieland. I mean, never mind.
Yeah, it's Detroit.
I suppose I have already passed enough judgment on myself and should deal with this in my own way.
Yeah.
I would.
So I'm gonna have to go for a bit. Sorry, guys. So
All right.
if you need to me and Jack to finish something, be great right now.
You got it.
We got through alive. All right, cool.
See you in a while.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so
So guess what? You get to carry around that guilt all you want. No one else is going to take it from you. You can't assuage it by having somebody pass a judgment on you because you're doing a fine enough job judging yourself.
fair enough.
And if you think about it, if you ask Valère to answer that question, fundamentally that's the same answer he's going to give you because he's not going to. He's not a person that passes judgment on other people. He only judges his own actions and those of people who hurt dragons.
And children.
And children.
And children, for
And
sure.
Well, what do you think the demon's gonna do?
And the
But
innocent and defenseless.
that's a side note. I think Xavier is more just worried about what he might do because of. But this is all.
Great, it's my turn now.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Valer.
Yay! So glad to have you with us. What you guilty
I'm-
of, Valer?
Being a badass. Oh, and underscore hero. Very, very guilty.
Isn't there something a little nearer to your heart as far as guilt is concerned?
Nope.
Hmm.
Very guilty. If you want to know why I'm so guilty of it and why I feel so guilty is because I'm too damn good at it. Punishment befitting the crime. I think I should be bound for 1,000 years or whatever the lifespan of a dragon is to hunt down and destroy evil across the land, especially hags, cure evil dragons, and hero of the age, so on and so forth, forever and ever. Amen.
Do you
Put it-
ever
put it
read?
in-
Do you ever read Socrates?
Socrates.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I never do.
Of course, you never did.
It's-
When
I prefer Diophanes.
Socrates, in particular, when he was in trouble in the city of Athens, he was in trouble for being too good of a teacher, and many of the townsfolk's children had stopped worshiping the gods because they all claimed to be students of Socrates. So the family charged him with the families of those children charged him with treason against the city for undermining their beliefs in the gods.
Hmm.
So, according to Athenian law, they had to determine guilt before they could pass judgment. And the way they voted was black stones or white stones. If you were guilty, the person would file a black stone into the canister, and if it was not guilty, you get a white stone. Well, they pulled everybody together and they had this big discussion because that's what they do in the agora. And when they got finished with their big conversation, they had the vote. 900 some stones were cast. Only one of them was white. That would have been Socrates himself. So everybody in the city agreed he was guilty of this crime. But again, their belief was that the victim that the criminal should get to name his own sentence. Usually under psychological pressure of everybody telling you were guilty, you would call for your own execution or exile or whatever. When it got to be his chance to answer, he wrote 4 pages and turned that in. And fundamentally, his 4 pages said, "You're right, I'm absolutely guilty, and for this I should be promoted to the rank of being the chief of all of Athens. I should be given the ability to speak every day to everyone's children. I should be able to continue this message of self-identity and value and worth to all peoples." Well, unfortunately, even though he got to state his request for punishment, nonetheless, they gave him exile, which was actually arguably the worst thing that could happen to him because he loved the city so much. The reason why I ask that is that the level of approval of your own action that you're eliciting here sounds more like arrogance than it does any other crime. Of course, there's
That would mean that it wasn't,
sincere, right?
Well, no, it wasn't.
Or validated.
Yeah, that one.
But the problem with it is that if it is validated, and that is your proposal, number one, there's nothing in this court that could provide that to you, and second of all, even if it could, it would fundamentally take you out of action in your very pursuit, because it would be relegating you to that newer role, and you'd no longer be the hero that you are.
How so?
Elevating you to destroying evil and overseeing things as you suggest, as a dragon, would elevate you beyond humanity of any sort, any quadru. You would become fundamentally a quadrupedal, and
I didn't say become a dragon.
You did.
No, I didn't. I said that I will live for however long, however a dragon lives.
However long a dragon lives. That's what you said. That's
yeah,
right.
I was out of accent in meta, but it's fine.
Okay, but this whole conversation's in meta anyway. But
Yeah.
the point is that I didn't intend for this to be a place where you I wanted to hear something of some form of feeling that you did something wrong, and I don't get that at all.
Well, I don't
'Cause
think
the term
that there's
guilt-
anything
the
that he
term-
would feel guilty for.
Then why would you go through the guilty door? You just
To
wanted
brag.
to see what to do.
Yeah. He wanted to see what was in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why he jumped up and said, I'm guilty, because the only thing he's guilty of is being the hero of the city. So
Okay.
they'll just go, ah.
Clap, clap, clap. That's it? That's all? Really? They were hoping for some dirt.
Do you have any dirt for me, John? What is my dirt?
Just the slight bit of arrogance, that's all.
Okay, well,
That's
when it's not earned, I'll look at it as a problem.
yeah, fair enough. I
Well,
that,
guess we'll leave.
hope that cough was just Scott just being silly, not
Not choking.
Yeah, hope
I think he was choking on what was said.
nice.
Yeah, when I'm arrogant, I'll take a look at being arrogant. Ha!
All right.
No, when I'm not haven't earned the arrogance, then I'll take a look at it. But
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Oh,
he's lived up to his exactly what he says he is and what he does. So arrogance is lifting yourself above what you are and not having confidence in who you actually are. Since who he actually is being a hero above reproach, then that's what he is. It's
Okay.
called confidence.
Sure. Alrighty. So now you've seen the 4 facilities. You want to hang out here for another day, or are you headed out?
Well, the question is, how desperate might the situation in the Warrens be? I mean,
Clearly, it's peaceful. There's no goblins there.
the goblins, okay. What Xavier is thinking is, yes, the goblins are gone, but does that mean something else is there that we don't know about, or something worse?
Valera's going to go over to. Is there any mayoral or oversight of the town?
Well, there's that noble who still lives outside of town, who is acting as the magistrate. I guess they don't actually have a specific
Sounds good.
law-giving force yet.
Then he'll just ask some people who are still gathered. Do any of you have any way or conveyance that we may be given to help us get along our way to the Warrens? That's where we're headed to next.
It's really
Any
not-
any ideas we may? I know you're in dire straits here, so we don't want to.
yeah, swift
take any
swift horses is still
about
good. Well, given no farther away than you are, swift horses should be more than sufficient. You're really not that far physically. I think you're like
3 or 4 hexes.
it's more than that, but it's not more than 10. I don't think.
I'd say 5 or 6, but
Well, he's just asking if anyone wishes to. He knows they're in dire straits, and so he doesn't want to take anything that's going to harm their progress towards getting back to a standard of living.
Again, the only thing they would recommend is horses. They don't have any other special ways to do it.
Well, I know, that's what I mean. If the horses are too dear, he won't take them.
Oh, I got you. No, they'd be willing to offer horses. That's fine.
Okay, sounds good. But if they needed the horses, he wouldn't have taken them.
I understand. So I'll get my map for just a second. And
I think I still have it out. Let's see, there's Banbury. We are... Fulcrum is the middle of these 3, and we're going down to Whisper Mist?
yeah, there's actually, it says Warrens across the bottom of the Whisper Mist.
Oh, my map doesn't have that.
I think it does. I think it's the same map that we have. It should be on all of them. If it has Whisper Mist, it has Warrens. It's just maybe a real faint font. Let me go.
Well, I have the really pungent looking one. It doesn't have Warrens on it.
Let me go look.
What a way to describe a map. Very pungent map you got here.
You mean it's strong coloration?
Yes.
Yeah. Just use the wrong word. Unless it is a pungent map.
Well, no, it's intense. The color
I-
is intense.
I guess if someone's had it in their back pocket for a while, it could be pungent.
Yeah. Depending on what, how many times they had accidents in their pants because of the terrors of the world.
Okay. So where you are now is that first. I'm sorry. You see where the White Cap Mountains are in Fulcrum?
Yep.
The lowest one. You're just north of there.
The middle of the three
Yes.
forest hexes that.
So
Right.
so going from there, you're going across the Whisper Mist. So 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes, including the fields. The first one is the fields, and then there's 3 kind of barrens. Then there's a green, hilly, with trees, just above the jungle.
Yep.
And right next to that is the mountains, and that's where the Warrens are.
So yeah, 9 hexes.
Yeah.
Well, 8 hexes plus the mountains.
Right.
So
No.
8 hexes till we get there.
Right.
You might as well consider it, if it was flat traveling, it'd be at least 10, because the mountains will slow you down that much.
We're not going
You're
over mountains.
not going to mountains at all. As a matter of fact, you're covering mostly grasslands. There's some hills at the first, and then it goes grassland, and then to broken terrain for several hexes, which is just like.
I'm going to need to get
rangelands.
supplies. And,
Oh no. Oh no, please.
well, not her.
No.
She just needs some rations and flour and,
That's fine.
stuff to make bread, or
Sure.
like stick bread.
Sure.
Okay.
Simple things, staples.
I can create food. I can just make it out of thin air.
Yes, you know what it tastes like, too.
Yes, it's pretty good.
Pure magic.
What does pure magic taste like to you? It tastes pretty damn good to me.
Cotton candy and honey, right? Is that what we ran into last time?
Sure. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Thick like gravy. It's magic. It's what you want it to taste like.
I was told that Aquarius.
2 days per hex. We're talking 20 days.
Okay.
Okay,
What about on horses?
That's including the horses.
yeah.
Okay.
A person couldn't travel that long. He might make 25 miles in 8 or 10 hours, but he'd really be tired.
Walking, yeah.
Even on horseback, because most people think horseback riding is you get on the horse and ride the whole day, and that's not the way the horses can do. You'll ride them for a while, then you get off and let them walk and let them eat and stuff while you're walking. Then you get back on and ride again for a while. Because A, your body can't take being in the saddle that long, and B, the horse.
I don't know. We were on the long distance trail ride for 8 hours.
Yes, 8 hours, Gene. I'm saying no more than that. And an
Oh, yeah.
eight.
And then you'll definitely have a lunch break where the horses get a chance to relax their backs.
That's all I'm referring to is that the
Yeah.
process gets you about 20 to 25 miles on fairly open terrain. It gets worse in hilly terrain and better in swales where they can get down closer to water.
Yeah.
Well, according to online, it says a combination of a lope and a walk, a young horse in optimal condition can travel 50 to 60 miles a day in good weather over level terrain, as long as he's allowed to drink and graze every couple of hours. The faster a horse moves, the more often he will need to rest, eat, and drink. The one reason why I say more than 25 is simply because I've been on enough pioneer recreation treks to say they always tout the number that they would go an average of 25 miles a day walking with the young ones and the old people in the wagon and everyone else on foot. And they would do 25 miles a day. And that's walking
Yeah.
and pulling carts and everything else. So a horse, I would think would be faster than that. But that's my one argument for it. It's up to you to decide, of course.
I try to deal with it from the simplicity of map counting, because I don't want to deal with the microcosm of actually rolling dice to see how many miles you actually made each day, and have to determine how many rations you ate up and how much time you had to spend hunting for water and all of those nuances. So
Well, that's why I'm arguing for faster. But you know me, it's fine.
To me, the two counteract each other. I don't want to deal with all those things, because those things would make it so you could theoretically travel even faster, but then again, it might not. Also, I just prefer to do 2 days per hex. That's just my round figure. If that's not acceptable, we can try to work on the math of it. It also tends to deal with the if you will, the scale of Nycos as I built it. So maybe my hexes need to be larger. If you want to be able to travel faster, we can always increase the size of the hexes. But the math, I tried to make it so the math worked out for crossing a continent in a reasonable amount of time, in comparison with, say, traveling across North America back in the olden days. So
Yeah. Okay. We'll go.
All right.
it's not a matter of we will go. It's just want to clarify that I'm going to, at least for the time being, going to stick with 2 days per hex.
Okay, sounds good.
Alrighty.
Besides that, oh, I do replenish on arrows. Good arrows. Like, let's see.
Just buy
I
what
don't
you
have
need,
time.
Gene, and let's move on. That's fine.
Yeah,
the
that's
the
fine.
people who clean or take care of the statues will find a gold piece and a note, say make better statues on each of the statues.
Nice. Yeah, well, they were built pretty quickly to get those in before you got down the mountain. So.
Yep.
Because even though there was a time dilation, they also knew when you were coming. So there you go.
Yep. But now they have a fund for
Yep.
make
Yeah.
better statues.
All
But we need to keep this appointment with the Wiggle Man.
right. Pardon me for stretching. All right, we're heading out. Go ahead and roll percentage dice for first day.
Somebody roll percentage.
I'm rolling.
Thank you.
40.
Okay. This is there we go. 40.
Yep.
Okay. You're crossing an area of farm fields, and ahead of you, you see one area where it looks like somebody has gotten really angry at that farmer, because every row and a half there is a huge pile of soil, like something just literally came along and just tore up his field on purpose. Every 3 or 4 rows, there is a house nearby, but the doors and windows look like they've been boarded up, and there is a note attached to the front door with a nail that's flipping nonchalantly in the breeze.
What does the note say?
The note says, "Fix my field's problem, and I have a bag of 4 gold for you. Bring it to," and then it gives us an address further down the road.
The next farm to the north.
Yeah, pretty much. In this case, next farm to the west.
West.
4 gold.
Yeah, he does have a problem, doesn't he? Do we have time to stop and straighten it out?
I have no need for the money, but I suppose I can't stop you if you wish to.
Davey, you want to join me?
Sure, we can kick it out. Might prove an interesting exercise.
Okay,
Then
so
we
you
can
go
do a
out and as you approach the first of the mounds of dirt, you realize that it's crater-like. It's a mound of dirt piled up around a hole, and the hole is filled in all the way to the bottom with the sandy dirt. Apparently, this isn't the best of soils anyway, but you can see bits of chewed rutabagas and carrots and stuff laying around the edge, like whatever it was kind of being disdainful of the actual farming.
Valaire's gonna try something to expedite it.
Sure.
He's gonna walk out into the middle of the field, stamp his feet real hard, and try to cast Compelled Duel to have it come up and fight him, whatever is causing it.
Okay, so read me about that one. I've not heard that ability.
Just a second, I'm flipping to it. There it is. First level spell, a range of 30 feet. You attempt to compel a creature into a duel. One creature that you can see, I guess you can see within range, must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is drawn to you, compelled by your divine demand. For the duration, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you, and must make a wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move a space that is more than 30 feet away from you. If it succeeds on this saving throw, this spell doesn't restrict the target's movement for that turn.
Okay, so yeah, walk out into the
Can't-
field and stomping won't necessarily draw the first one because they're not in position to see you since they are underground.
Yeah, right.
But the stomping around does seem to have some kind of an effect as the sand in that hole nearest them does seem to move a bit.
Hey, come on up, you bastards. Let's get it over with.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Start filling in the hole.
With what?
Start. Oh, I'll take out something and scoop it in. My plate. I have a plate. I'll take the plate and start that, or look for a shovel or something. You must have a shovel or a hoe. Or just
Yeah, you can
push
look.
it.
Yeah, you'll see his shovel and hoe up next to the house.
Okay, so she'll go get the shovel. She'll hand Xavier the hoe. Let's fill it in. Limit the number of places they can come out.
As you start to throw the dirt in, the first couple of scoops doesn't do much, but suddenly there's violent action at the bottom, and huge, sharp pincers come up out of the soil, snap several different times, and then bury back into the ground.
Keep on filling it in. Let's make it mad.
Going well and seeing bed.
Okay, so as you guys are working ardently to fill in this hole, Valaire, make a perception test for me.
Sure. Nope. He sucks.
Okay.
4 plus whatever.
Yeah. So they've drawn your attention. You're still kind of trying to shout at whatever it is, and that'll give the rest of them a bit of an advantage here. As you guys are working away, what's happened is that the actual creature that is involved with this hole actually has a maze of tunnels underneath, and while you're messing with this one, they've now crawled up the other holes. And so while you're working ardently to fill this one in, 3 Antkeg are crawling across the space to engage the two of you. So let me get my random dice out here. Randomizer.
If we're in a field, we can certainly see them coming.
Not if you're focused on filling this one in. The others are they're crawling through the. I said it was a torn up field, so it's not. And I don't know if you know what an Antkeg looks like, but it's
Yeah,
like,
it's a giant antlion.
yeah. There we go. Why did it give me that? No, it's not working. I hate these. The one I had didn't show up on my list this time. That's very weird. I hate this. All these sites now have it so that whatever you want, you gotta go through like 17 ads first, huh?
Yep. Do you want me to roll something for you, John?
I just want to have it here for me to use, so thanks anyway. Got it. Alrighty, so you'll actually they blew it so bad on their surprise rolls that you can actually hear them thundering across the ground behind you. So you can each turn to see one of them, and Travis, you can see the third one closing in on Xavier from his flank.
Well, this isn't even worthy of Frogrock, so he'll take out a switchblade and flick out a greatsword and move to attack it.
Yay! So roll initiative just so we know who's going first. And then
Somebody roll for
Non-nat
me.
20.
Somebody roll for me. I had
Right.
3.
She got a 19. What's your initiative?
4.
I rolled the 19
so 23.
for her.
23.
So I got a 10 total.
So I'll actually go after Valère and before Xavier. So Jean, you're first.
Drop
The shovel.
the shovel. Draw the sword. They're too close.
Stabbity stab stab.
Yep. Somebody roll for me. I'm actually somewhere not in the room right now.
Okay, you got a 15.
15
That will hit.
plus
It doesn't matter.
2.
It'll hit.
Okay.
What's your damage?
Be a D8.
Damage is a D8. No, yeah, D8. It's a long sword.
7 on the dice.
Okay. Plus 2 plus 2.
So
11.
So it's 11. It's not dead yet. Xavier, I'm sorry, Valère.
Okay, rolling the one that's coming up behind Xavier. 18 plus
That'll
whatever.
hit.
Okay, he does a D8. 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 2.
7. All right.
Yeah.
It's not dead yet. Xavier. No, I got my attack on Xavier first. Aha.
Wait, I get more than one attack.
Oh, that's true.
I forget that I am
You're
a level
sixth.
9 paladin.
Exactly.
And that one is a... Does a 12 hit?
That 12 will actually miss.
Yeah, I rolled a 4, so...
Nice.
Ow, your dice are.
Hey, at least they're dice.
Okay.
Definitely dice.
Is this gonna be another night like I had last Sunday? But
We'll find out here in a second.
so you get your attack on me, right, Gun?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to do the damage from his sword, from his second attack.
I missed.
Oh, that's right. You missed with that wonderful 4. Okay, well, I got a nat 20. Yay, backing the nat 20. No, it wouldn't matter anyway. It's only mandibles anyway. So, damage is... 9 points of damage.
Okay. Still up. Now.
The injured one, I gotta decide whether or not it comes after you or yeah, if it tries to continue after you or turns on Valère. After Valère's hit it twice, I'm pretty sure it's gonna turn, but I'm gonna look.
No, he hit it once. He missed the second time.
Yeah, but he attempted twice. He has drawn enough tension. It turns on Valère, so
Hit me, baby. One more time.
hit me, baby, one more time. 16. That'll
Nope.
miss you. And attack on Mooncat misses. I roll a 2 there. So now it's Xavier's turn.
Now, I would not get my sneak attack because it hit
That is
me.
correct. It was actually trying to ambush you, so it doesn't give you an opportunity for a sneak attack. Now you could.
You were ambushing me. No, but I'm sneaking on you.
I could what?
I would say, technically, well, I don't know if you're high enough level to pull this off, but you could use your, I can't remember what they call the withdrawal skill that lets you get out of a fight without losing your
Disengage?
action. Yeah, but there's a form of ability that rogues can use that allow them to disengage without losing their action.
That's not uncanny dodge, is it?
No, but it's there's a uncanny dodge allows you to like double your dex against its individual attack. What I'm talking about is it actually allows for disengagement so that you don't lose your action, so you can go ahead and go after somebody else. I can't remember what that's called. I think it's a bonus action, one of the bonus action options, but I don't remember.
The only thing I have that uses a bonus action is cutting action, but I don't know whether that's it.
I don't either. Anyway, let me see.
So I'm just gonna go for an attack on the one that attacked me at this point. $15.
That'll hit. That hit.
6 points.
6 points. Okay. None of them are dead yet. Round 2. Mooncat.
Go ahead, roll for me. I'm still
She
not back
gets
yet.
a 19 on the dice.
Nice. That's another hit.
19 plus 2. So,
Yep.
okay.
You guys like you better than me.
See. Nice dice. Roll a d8 and add 4.
5 on the dice. Plus
5 is
4 is 9.
Plus
9.
the damage done last time is not quite dead yet.
Yeah, it's got 20 now. Okay.
Okay, Valère.
Gonna kill it.
Smite it.
7 plus 8 is 15.
Hits.
That is a D8. I get to re-roll that because it's a 1. Because I have great weapon fighting. And 7 plus 4 is...
It's also plus D4, right? This is Fragorok, right? No.
No, this
It
is...
is- Okay, this is this.
yeah,
this
plus
top thing.
2. So
Yeah.
7 plus 4 plus 2.
Oh, that'll kill it finally.
Okay. And second attack, am I close enough to do the second attack on something else?
There used to be a feat that did that. What was it called? I can't remember. Cleave.
Yeah,
Let's
it used to
move
be.
on. Roll a d6. Roll a d6 for me. Just to
Sure.
see if you're close enough to make the move.
5.
Yeah, you're close enough. Go ahead.
Okay. 14 plus...
Might I add, this might be when you want to compel the duel, because that way it has to face you and turns it away from Xavier.
Sure. I will cast Compelled Duel to see if it's an area effect. No, just a single creature.
Single creature, that's what I'm saying. This is the one that's fighting Xavier. It failed on its save, so it's going to turn to face you.
Okay.
That means he'll now get his bonus attack, his bonus damage from the sneak attack.
Sounds good. So that's what I'll do.
Yeah, you basically come up, hit it, and go, "Fight me!" And it turns around, and it attempts to fight you, and again rolls that lovely 16 that isn't going to hit. And Jeans that's not quite dead. Ooh, I think I might have got her a 19.
Yeah.
Okay, and so therefore... Six points of damage, Gene.
All right.
And now it's Xavier. Now you get your back attack bonus dice of damage.
So first to hit.
Yep.
That would be a 21.
Yep. So you get your regular damage and then add a d6 for the back attack.
Well, it could be 2d6 because
Yep.
I'm 6th level. So
That's right.
for regular damage, it would be.
Wait a minute, 2d6?
Yes, he gets a bonus die I think it's every 3 levels as a rogue.
Yeah, well, that means should be 1, 2, 3.
No, he gets his normal dice. Then he gets to add a bonus d6 for each 3 levels. If he's 6, that's
Oh,
2.
3 levels? Oh, okay, that's what's
Well,
different.
No, I
It's
think it's
never-
I think he doesn't get the first bonus die until like 3rd level, and then he gets
Well,
again at
what's his
5th.
class?
Rogue, Gene. Rogue.
Oh, I always used
So-
to start at first level.
No, that's what I'm telling you. 5th edition doesn't do it that way. They start with your regular, and then you don't get your bonus until you can get the actual skill, which happens at 2nd or 3rd.
So a massive 8 points of damage with everything.
Woo! Well, between you and Valero, though, you finished it off. All that's left is the one that's really hurt bad that Jean's facing, and she's the first to act. So, Jean, your action.
Roll for me, please,
Yep.
Travis.
16 on the dice. Damn, my dice really like
Yeah,
you
they're
today.
doing real well. That'll hit.
Sucks for
Okay.
me, loves you.
And
1 on
D8.
the D8.
Oh, what? Okay, so I only get 5.
Thanks, D8. I love you too.
That's enough. It's enough. She finally finishes the 3rd one off. Go back to that first tunnel, though, and you can still see motion in the first tunnel now.
Yeah, they're not all dead.
Mm.
And I don't know how many are in there.
If you have a shovel, you could go find out.
Blair's
Yep.
gonna go over to the hole, lean over it, and do his linear radiant breath attack into the hole.
That's what I was gonna suggest.
Wow. Go ahead.
I don't even remember. Do I roll to hit for that one?
They have to make a save, but you have to roll to hit.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to roll to hit. You just have to roll. You have to tell me how much damage you do.
Okay. Do you remember what the damage was? It's been a long time since I used that.
It starts off as 3d6, and then it got bigger at, I think, 3rd level and at 6th level. So it'd be,
What about
So,
9th?
I'm 9th level.
so again at 9th, so that'd be 3.
66.
Wow, that's a lot better.
You would've fro-
3, 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
25 points of popcorn damage to all the little baby, basically the little aspis nest is just full of little bitties, and you just burnt them all to a crisp.
Well, that's one way to fix this field problem.
Yep.
Imagine that the light kind of like went and kind of shines up through some of the other holes a little bit.
Exactly.
Nice.
He goes over to where she left her, takes the shovel and the hoe back to the thing, sets them
For
up.
the next year, all his crops are going to come out a little bit holy.
Yeah. Well, none of that. His crops will grow up, and they'll already have gotten a boost of sunlight from the wrong side. Whoosh.
Well, more than that, actually, if he takes all these bodies, chops them up, and mixes them up with the sandy soil, he can improve his soil.
True.
We'll leave him there as proof.
Yeah, well, we'll ride up there and I'll tell him how to take care of his soil. He's got to
Yeah,
take
tell
all.
the farmer how to take care of his soil.
Well, yeah, apparently has.
Well, once she starts talking, he'll just say, "Here, just take your gold. Thank you."
He'll snap off one of the mandibles to show him just proof.
Yeah. Yep. All right. And so you get your bag of 4 gold, and thank you very much.
You guys can have it.
Yay.
He gets 2 to Xavier and 2 to
Yep.
Rachel.
Okay. Farmer sends
406.
back to his house. Yay.
Hooray.
Okay. First
That
up,
represented most of his wealth, but
it probably was his life savings. But better to have the farm cleared than having to go find a whole new farm someplace.
yeah.
And he didn't have to sell to the The Red Knight.
Red
either.
Army.
The Red Knight. Yeah, he wouldn't have to sell out to the Red Knight.
Red Knight.
Yes,
I-
the Red Knight, the guy who is the commander of the realm.
Yeah,
The last descendant of the righteous houses of the valley.
yeah. We met him before we placed the
Oh,
belt
Sir
down.
Oh.
Peregrine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Rather ostentatious little man.
nice. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me. I'm sorry, percentage dice for day 2
I got it.
Okay.
or the second half of day 1. I should say.
53.
53. You don't so much see them because it's still daylight out, but you definitely see signs of there being a pack of hyena in the area. More than
Okay.
likely, over the last few years, with all the weird things that have been happening, there's been an opportunity for the scavengers to build up
Horn
in the
in.
area. Yep.
Yeah,
Hey,
they're
we should
horny men.
probably not set camp here, so let's keep moving.
Yep.
Yep.
Alrighty.
I'm not here to take down vermin.
All right. So roll
You say
percentage
after
the
we
third
take
time.
out vermin. Okay, I got 83.
83. Yes, you find a place where you're going to be crossing through some bottoms. So there's a little stream crossing the path ahead of you. Water is calm and smooth at this point. There's large enough river rocks to actually cross without getting your feet wet. Of course, if you're riding a horse, it won't matter anyway. But that's there doesn't appear to be any problem with this being an idyllic place to camp.
Let's set up next to the idyllic place to camp.
However, she does do a scout out around, in a spiral out from that
Only
point.
evidence of anything is there are footprints of what what might be an elephant or something of large size like that in the area.
An elephant.
Blair will set up his pavilion tent.
Okay.
Is it
The
big
night
enough?
the night passes peacefully enough, and on into morning day 2, and it's 4 o'clock. We will be having to conclude because I got some things I have to do this afternoon.
Okay.
And
All right.
I don't have to work tonight, so I will probably be on doing something a little bit later. More than likely impromptu stuff, not going to be anything planned. So
All right.
I will
Uh,
perhaps see you all later on tonight. If so, I'll set up a meeting and all of that, or I can just catch you in Discord, either way.
Okay.
Great.
I'll be
I might
playing.
run by the game store and pick up my microphone or something.
Oh, cool. All right. You guys have a great day.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the game, John.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yes,
Talk to you later.
see you. I might be on later tonight, but I have to see you like any specific time, John, or
Oh, we gotta end the stream too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna do that first. Let's say
Oh.
say goodbye to our fans, because we actually had a fan on board too. Thank you for watching
As-
us and stay with us, and we'll see you all next time on Nycos.